Spurs are back in action tonight, but they will be without Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is nursing a sprained ankle. Spurs are in Sacramento to battle the Kings tonight. Tip-off there is set for 9 o'clock. NFL Network's Jane Slater is reporting there have been no talks between the Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott about a contract extension. Slater says it could be as late as August before a possible deal is reached.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
Big time Thursday.
It is.
Kind of a nasty day, though, right? One of those, like, blah. A little cloudy, a little drizzly. And, you know, it really kind of irritates me because I washed the car yesterday.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah. And so here we got nasty stuff.
You know, the beauty of having a wash tub pass is you'll go back.
Well, of course.
I mean, they also give you a rain check.
Well, they do, but
yeah.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
Point is the car looked great yesterday. Today, it looks crappy again.
You know what you should be saying? Everybody should thank me. I got my car washed, and that brought on the rain.
There's no rain. It's like drizzle.
Well,
it's
yeah.
like crap. There's a difference. And if it were rain, great. It's kind of like poop or get off the pot. I mean, either clear the skies or rain, one of the two.
Did it not rain this morning?
I didn't see any rain. All I saw was drizzle.
What is drizzle?
Like spit.
Is that not classified as rain?
I don't think so. It's classified as drizzle.
Well, no, I mean,
It doesn't do us any good.
I did not see rain, but when I woke up this morning, when I went out on the back porch this morning to take trash from the kitchen out of the back door on the porch down the back sidewalk to where the trash can is, hidden behind the fence so the HOA doesn't send a letter. The sidewalk was wet. The ground was wet. The top of the trash can looked as if it had rained. I know today's not my watering day because the watering police weren't there to give me a ticket. So it had to come from the sky, had to be rain.
Well, if it drizzles enough, it gets wet. But I don't know if that does the grass or the plants any good.
A sip of water is better than none, is it not?
Do we actually need rain? Are we in drought? Are we still?
Yeah, we're still on water restrictions.
I think we're always on water restrictions. Just
it's like when you were in high school. I'm grounded. I'm not sure what for now, but I know I am.
It could be a monsoon for 3 weeks, and I guarantee you get the weather guys on TV. Wow, we could surely use some more rain.
Well, I mean, what else is Billy T going to say? But the reality is that monsoon didn't fall over the aquifer, damn it. So we still need rain. I think
Ridiculous.
Miguel Martinez has it absolutely correct on our YouTube channel. You want to read that one, Joe?
I know what Miguel says, and that's fine. Yeah, I need something to complain about.
There you go.
But when there's something to complain about, you complain about it.
But
why hold it in? You get it out. If you feel better if you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody else does too.
I mean, do you wake up thinking, what can I be mad about today?
Actually, I was in a great mood when I woke up, went to the gym, and I think my brother tried to kill me this morning.
What were you complaining about that led to this?
Well, nothing. I just did a workout, and he's like, my brother's a big dude.
Your brother's a bodybuilder.
And so the stuff that he can do, I don't necessarily can't.
Yeah, you get a hernia looking at it.
There's a difference in weight.
Yeah.
And I mean weights on the machine. So
does he ever just look at your bar and go,
not out loud anyway. Not out loud. And bars, machines, whatever.
Okay.
So
when you use the machines where you got to pull the pin, so he does something, and then you got to go find the pin down yonder and bring it way up to the top.
Bring it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes farther than others. Sometimes it depends on what we're doing. Today was shoulders.
Uh-huh.
So shoulders are probably the hardest thing I think, for me anyway.
Okay.
Out of all the body parts.
Are you within 100 pounds of anything your brother lifts?
Yes. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I don't say that to, I mean, see,
No,
I
it's
would
true.
not want to work out with your brother. He is a professional bodybuilder.
Well, but see, look, bodybuilding and then, working out, you don't just use the heaviest weights that you can. Now, if we were just going to have a contest of who could lift the most, then yeah, I probably would be way down the line. But
yeah.
when you're just working out, you're kind of I'm in the vicinity.
I mean, it's like when I was, excuse me, making an effort, I realized my trainer's warm up was my complete workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. That's just warm up. The hell it is. I'm done.
That's it.
Yeah, that's your warm up. I'm dead. I could see your max would be your brother's warm up. And again, no knock on you. Your brother's ridiculous when it comes to that.
And I don't take it as a knock on me, and that's cool.
That's
I don't.
It always surprised me you work out with your brother.
Well,
like, what does your brother get out of that?
Well, I mean, he lifts whatever he wants. I mean, it's not like he's got to stay with me. That's the beauty of the gym with all these weights. You can lift whatever you want.
You're over there in the kiddie section.
Well, I stay in the same way. Sometimes I just have to bring mine over.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's fun, though. I enjoy doing it. Now I enjoy doing it because it's like it's done for the day. And when I wake up in the morning and have to go back, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Really don't want to do that.
Damn.
But I will.
About this time yesterday, I had a microphone issue. About this time yesterday, I want to thank Halen from our engineering department because he has fixed the microphone and he left me a lovely note. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to show the note. So go to the YouTube channel.
You think Halen wants you to read that note out loud?
The San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Because this note is classic. It really is. Now, mind you, these are the same microphones that have been here for 16 years. I assume they were new when we got this studio.
I wouldn't make that assumption.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. They were new to us.
Yeah, okay.
But they've been there for 16 years. And if you're watching on YouTube, the way this connects here, there's a screw that's small. It's a Yahoo, and when you move the microphone, it kind of strips things out here, there, blah blah, whatever, right? And it falls out every now and then, and at the most inopportune times, like yesterday, like right in the middle of the damn show. It's it happens. And this is something that, I don't know, Greg Shelton has known about for 10 years. It's been an ongoing, it's kind of like Tyron Smith. Not if it's going to break, but when and how quickly can you get it fixed, right? It's the Tyron Smith of microphones. Well, Halen got us a new left tackle. And he leaves me a lovely note that says, mic screw swapped. Let me know if it breaks again. These are kind of crap. Pieces of crap.
Poor Halen just started here. This guy hadn't been here, 6 months?
I don't know if he's 6 months old. But yes, he is. But he left a lovely note to let me know that it was fixed. Hey, and what was great is I asked him yesterday, like, hey, dude, can we get a new screw in this thing? He said, yeah, I'll get it done for you.
He's the anti-Greg Shelton.
With the smile. Yep. I'm in the middle of something right now, but I will get it done. I will get it done. Halen,
he did.
I appreciate you, man.
How about that? That's good. Good for Halen.
Yes.
And Shelton, you've been talking, 6 years, you said?
At least 10. And Pledge wants credit, too, because Pledge says, I reminded him this morning, but he had already fixed it.
There you go. You see that?
But Pledge wants credit but I even reminded him. Now, Pledge is known. How long have you worked here?
14 years?
He's known that this has been a piece of crap for 14 years, but today he decided to remind the engineer that it needs to get fixed. And it was already done.
Already done.
That's
good. We got a go-getter in the engineering department.
Dude, Halen, man, I'm going to take you to lunch pretty soon.
Really?
Well, I'm just glad he signed his name, because otherwise I would not have known who wrote this.
Yeah, you would have.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, just by, deduction. Well, it wasn't Shelton. So, okay. So,
But
there's only one other in there.
The point is, because he signed his name, I know it.
Yes.
How many times did we see the guy and we're like, what's his name? Or I've called him
Yeah.
the wrong name.
Got you.
Right? I have called him the wrong name about 9 times.
Well, dude, I'm going to tell you, this guy's very smart guy, but he looks like he's about 12.
He does look like he's about 12, but he looks like he's about 12 that could kick your ass.
Well, maybe.
Right? Well, no, I mean, look, I'm a tall 5'7". I mean, but he looks young.
He
Right?
does. Yes.
He like if he were walking around the hall at a junior high school right now, they'd send him to class or to the principal's office, even if he had a visitor badge, right? But he was a wrestler.
Oh, really?
And wherever he's from, he, because he was wearing a shirt one time, it was Marine something. I'm like, dude, you were in the Marines? No, but they were a sponsor of this wrestling event that I did. All right, cool. So I learned he's a wrestler.
Okay.
I knew that before his name.
How are his ears? His ears okay?
What?
Well, his ears. Sometimes wrestlers have
cauliflower
funky ears.
I think
yeah.
that's boxers.
No,
I guess same thing, right?
I think it's wrestlers.
I think it's boxers' ears.
Combat fighters.
Combat fighters.
Combat fighters.
Yeah, it used to be boxing, but now with MMA, you kind of lump them together and call them combat fighters.
Dude, I think
as if there's any other. What other kind of fighter is there? Is there a non-combat fighter?
I don't think so.
I mean, could you have a verbal sparring?
Shadow boxer?
Well, I mean, but I mean, combat or non-combat, but you could be, like now in the heavyweight, verbal category, these 3 are going to get on TV and scream at each other.
Well, I think that's what we do.
Well,
so we could say we're non-contact fighters.
Sure. I mean, Stephen A. and Pat McAfee apparently had a non-contact fight that could lead to blows.
Well, you talk about a battle of huge egos.
Yeah. Well, they're comparing paychecks.
Uh-huh.
And McAfee right now is winning.
Yeah, I think McAfee, and that probably pisses Stephen A. off.
Not probably.
Because it's like they're battling for the king of ESPN.
Yep.
Dude, I saw a movie last night that I almost cried. You ever watch one of those?
A movie where you've almost cried?
Yeah, but I mean, I had to really hold it back.
I mean, was it Old Yeller?
My wife's bawling like a
Old
baby.
Yeller?
It's called The Whale.
The Whale.
The Whale.
The Whale.
Brendan Fraser is The Whale. It's on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you what, man. The acting in it's spectacular. There's a lot of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, woke stuff in there. But it's very good. And Brendan Fraser is excellent. In fact, he won the Academy, I think, or he won the award for Best Actor.
Now, what do you mean almost cried?
Well, I mean, I really had to hold it back.
I mean, it either made you cry or it didn't. Well, are you just afraid to say that you cried during the movie last night?
I have no problem admitting that I mean, I really had to hold it back. You get that lump in your throat. Maybe eyes all
like Old Yeller.
Eyes all
always
water
makes
up
you
and
cry.
stuff. Yep, of course.
Yes,
it was that way. While my wife's over there.
Well, see, now you're making fun of Maggie, and it was you. I think it was you.
I'm not making fun of Maggie. She was bawling.
No,
and it was just it's one of those kind of movies.
All right, I've never even heard of this one.
Well, you need to see it. It's on Amazon Prime.
No surprise. Well, why would I want to watch a movie that's going to make me cry?
Well, why not? This dude's fantastic. It's one of the greatest acting performances you'll ever see.
All right, am I going to cry?
You'll cry. Yes,
but you didn't.
Well, I held it back.
You did.
My eyes watered.
You got to admit, you were wondering who was cutting onions in there.
I'm telling you, my eyes watered. Right. You get that thing in your. Yeah, it's one of those that you get invested in the characters, and then when things happen.
Did you quit playing solitaire during this movie?
I didn't play one game of solitaire.
That must be one hell of a movie.
The acting is fantastic,
but you didn't cry.
I semi-cried. Is there?
Did you well up a little bit? They just weren't streaming. You had a little snot running down your nose.
There was no stream and there was no snot.
No snot bubbles.
But there was that thing in your throat. Yeah, it's like you had to hold it back. You know what I mean?
You could admit, man. Well, it's okay. I mean, this is safe space here, man.
I got no problem admitting.
There's no judging here.
I have no problem admitting it.
The only time I get, because my wife will cry at a lot of movies. And I forget which one we were watching. It was a long time ago. And she's bawling her eyes out. And I'm not finding anything remotely sad about this. And then I find out she has seen the movie before.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how do you cry a second time? You know what's happening, with the exception of Old Yeller. That's the only movie you can cry in more than once. Every time at the end, that gets you.
Well, full transparency on this thing. We started watching it the other day.
Uh-huh.
And Maggie got through it. I fell asleep.
So she watched it again.
So she watched it again.
So it was so good it put you to sleep.
Well, we started late, and I was in bed. And I went,
this was a hell of a recommendation.
So she says, she's bawling her eyes out. At that point, she did it again last night. And she's like, I just want to talk about it. I look over you're snoring your head off. So I wanted to see the end of it because I got about halfway through.
So she cried the second time.
And cried again, yeah.
Knowing it's coming.
Yes.
Good Lord.
It's a good movie if you haven't seen it. I mean, again,
if you need a good cry.
It's it's one of those that you kind of get invested in the characters, and that kind of stuff. So that's not a movie that you're going to get up and go, yeah, afterwards. You're going to be a little sad, but you'll get over it. And it's a good movie.
Okay.
Just saying.
You going to watch it again tonight?
No, I'm done. I saw it once.
One and a half.
It depends. Only like comedy movies can I watch over again.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Like,
Maggie watched this movie twice in a week and cried like a baby in both
times.
All right.
Well, she's,
yeah,
she's a tender-hearted person.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You cry. You need to watch it because you will.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when they call it the whale, it's not what you think, even though the dude's huge. Brandon Fraser actually gained about 70 pounds to do this movie, but the makeup or the prosthetics or whatever you call it to make this guy as huge as he is
impressive.
Pretty incredible. I think that even won an award.
Well, of course.
The makeup people.
Sure. I hate because I'm not such a good I'm not a big movie guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go to the theater very often. Although I did recently go see the Bob Marley movie at the theater.
Uh-huh.
But I see all these movies that win awards, and I'm like, when you go on Amazon, this one and that, I'm like, I haven't heard of these. And I think it's a byproduct of, if you're not watching a lot of television, you don't see all the movie trailers. They don't promote enough movies during sports games, apparently, because, who watches a show on NBC or CBS or whatever anymore? And so you kind of, I feel like, and there's movie people that I know that are friends, and they'll post stuff or they'll ask about stuff, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a music guy. You want to talk music? I'm there. I'm not the biggest movie guy. And so you're talking about an award-winning movie that I have not even heard the title of or anybody talk about.
Well, the thing that's impressive is Brendan Fraser, right? I mean, you think of him as he was a caveman, and then he was the mummy chaser, and he's
an actor.
Well, yeah,
here's a job. All right, here's your new role.
But
and wouldn't you rather have a role where you can gain 70 pounds as opposed to have to lose 70?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's good movie. You gotta watch it.
Movie recommendations from Joe Reinagel.
Yeah, The Whale.
Get your tissue.
Yes.
Get your tissue. The horror film for NFL safeties is The Turk Coming to See You. And that's been massive. It's crazy. Simmons this morning for the Denver Broncos. Now, obviously, Denver, they have to figure out how to pay Russell Wilson and deal with his dead cap money since he's going to get fired. But the Cowboys need a safety, and there are a lot of all-pro and Pro Bowl safeties that have been fired in the last week. It is incredible. NFL teams have cut more than $100 million worth in safeties' salaries, almost like they're becoming the running back. It is weird, but with the cost of quarterbacks and receivers going up, what position groups are going to start losing? It was running backs, and now it looks like safeties are in that category as well. And again, positions matter, which is why, like yesterday, we spent a lot of time talking about Micah Parsons. Is he an end or is he a linebacker? But you look at the salary cap, and you go into some of these general managers' offices, and there are dollar amounts that they have for each position group. And now, granted, you can rob Peter to pay Paul, but they also know where can they save some money. And on the offense, it's at running back. And now when you look at what's going on with safeties, they're becoming on that endangered species list.
I mean, somebody's got to cover these high dollar wide receivers.
Corners, they make a lot of money.
You still got to have safeties.
Yeah, but corners.
So what are you going to do? I mean, I'm guessing if you're the Buffalo Bills, who I think got rid of their entire secondary yesterday, who's going to cut? You just going to draft to fill those guys because they got cheap contracts? I mean, it's interesting, and it begs the question, and I mean this sincerely. When we're talking about the Buffalo Bills, are they done? I mean, have they wasted Josh Allen? Think about it.
I mean, they've got to figure out how to make it work, and where do you think you could save money? But you look at of the available safeties right now, those that have been recently released. You got Justin Simmons today, which was a surprise. I mean, he's like Mr. Bronco, right? That'd be like the Cowboys cutting Darren Woodson back in the day. It's like you think about guys that have been with the team. Justin Simmons, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Kevin Byard, Eddie Jackson, Rashawn Jenkins, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer among the veteran guys that have been released. And if you're Mike Zimmer, tell me a name on that list you wouldn't want.
Well, I mean, you might, but I mean, it's not like the Cowboys have an open bank account that they can go out and pay anybody.
Well, but again, all right, say you want Diggs or Adams. All right, well, somebody else is going to give them more. At some point, if the trend is to not overpay a safety guy, you should be able to get one of those guys at a reasonable rate, at your rate, not theirs, because theirs doesn't seem to be much of a market for safeties.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to make that much money. Poyer was cut. He was scheduled to make $5.72 million, and they cut him.
Well,
I mean, that's not like, it's $30 million he was going to make this year.
No, but one team, 5.72 to another team might be nothing. It depends on how your structure is. In that building where he was, they needed that money. Boom, you're gone. That doesn't mean he can't get $5 million from the Cowboys. Seriously, I mean,
that would be great.
But that's what I'm saying. With the number of safeties that are out there, that's going to drive the market down. It's supply and demand. If there were 6-7 teams that needed an all-pro safety and there were only 2 or 3, now the safeties have the negotiating power to go to the highest bidder. Right now, there's too many veteran safeties that are going to be looking for work. That should keep the price low.
Is that a position, though, you would look at the Cowboys and say, we need safeties?
When you look at their free agent list, and that might keep some of their free agent list, because isn't Curse on that list? I'm thinking of the safeties that are on there. Curse is on there. Marquise Bell is under contract, probably goes back under Mike Zimmer as a safety as opposed to a linebacker, but could be a bit of a hybrid. A couple of those guys could be hybrid types too, and more importantly, veteran guys. And I do think Mike Zimmer prefers that. And if you're Mike Zimmer and you're on a 1-year deal, I'd rather know what I'm dealing with as opposed to an unknown rookie who needs to prove it at the NFL level. So what are you going to push for?
Well, absolutely. I just think the Cowboys have some other needs. But, I mean, if you could grab a guy like a Jordan Poyer, for example, that'd be fantastic. And who wouldn't want to add a guy like that? Because you know what Jordan Poyer did?
Yeah.
Saved the game for the Bills until their kicker couldn't make a kick.
I mean, sure.
On that play that, you hate.
Sure.
Yeah, and he made a great play, but you hate him. So you want to take that away from him.
What do you mean I hate him?
Well, you hate him. Because he made a great play. The ball goes out of the end zone, and you want to give it back to the offense.
I do want to give it back to the offense, but I don't hate him for making a great play. You made a great play. You caused a fumble that your team couldn't recover. It goes back to the offense.
Why do you hate Jordan Poyer?
He still made a great, because he's not a Cowboy yet. If he changes his jersey, I'll be a big fan. Because we root for laundry.
Of course. It's crazy. $100 million in salaries have been cut. All in safeties. That's nuts.
It is. And when you look at where the Cowboys are, and until they get a deal with Dak done, And who knows when that's going to happen. Jane Slater at the NFL Network reported today that, don't expect anything to happen soon. It might be around August before a deal is done.
No talks at all, according to a source informed. And I know that might be surprising to some folks. So I asked for a clarification on that. And I was told, look, none at all. In other words, still, I even asked, is it because there wasn't anything meaningful to report? Nope, nothing. Now, I reached out to Dak's agent, Todd France, to confirm that, and I unsurprisingly didn't get a response back. I know that it's the offseason and news as it relates to Cowboys Nuggets does particularly well, particularly when it comes to Dak. So I want to make sure to clarify this. I don't believe this to be cause for alarm. Based on how the last contract went, France plays his cards close to his vest, and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys will negotiate this through the media, as we saw a little of that with the missive from the Combine. But ultimately, this deal will likely get done. Just don't be surprised if that materializes closer to August.
See, now, I'm
August.
Yeah, but I'm selfish. Wouldn't it be awesome? We're sitting on the tennis courts in Oxnard, California, and Dak gets his deal done, probably on the same day that Dak is going to be on the Blitz. I mean, in all seriousness, that has happened throughout the years that we've gone to training camp. Mm-hmm. And Jerry, and I didn't think about this. I'll credit Jane Slater with that and kick myself in the ass for not thinking of it first. But it feels like every year at training camp, a major contract gets done. The only one that I'm really mad about that I feel like was like, well, really, dude, you could have told us, is Rob and I were interviewing Travis Frederick. We talked to him about his contract because we knew it was up. And that was when Jason Garrett was the coach, so they practiced in the afternoon. Well, we're talking to him before practice. So I'm trying to think, like 2 o'clock was 4 o'clock, 2:30, whatever the time was. And, he's playing it cool and answering, it will get done when it gets done kind of thing. And the interview's over. Travis Frederick, great guy. And, after practice or during practice, it's announced that earlier that day they had reached an agreement on a new contract, and Travis Frederick will be talking after practice. That dude knew that he had a new deal, but couldn't say anything yet until it was finalized by the league. And I was like, dude, we had you on like 4 hours ago.
Your timing was bad.
You hit the lottery, and we're playing it so close to the best. That's the, other times they'll sign a guy and then like, hey, you guys are going to get Dak tomorrow. All right. So as that day he's, because that's how the Cowboys generally do things.
We'll see. I find that hard to believe. August, my gosh. But although it is kind of the Cowboys' way to wait till the last minute to do something like that. But they've got to, if they're not even talking though, I mean, Jerry and Steven have to have some idea of what they can do and go out, because free agent period starts next week. I mean, that seems like an unfortunate deal right now.
It does. Talking or have talked? Are they having, here's your offer, here's my offer, let's set up 3 meetings? I think everybody of the players involved, the parameters are there. Like, I don't think that Steven and Jerry are going to get blindsided by something crazy coming from Todd France. And then Todd France is just waiting for the first or second or fifth lowball offer from the Cowboys. Todd France does play things close to the vest, but typically, not that I know Todd France at all, right? But when you listen to a lot of these, like when things are in play or maybe not going right, he responds to text messages, I believe, when things are moving, or not going well. The negotiating through the media. If things are going well, he ignores you.
So he ignored Jane. Makes me wonder if, while they're not talking, have they talked? Are the parameters in place? And I'm just guessing at this point. But the Cowboys aren't going into the offseason with no real idea of the parameters. So they're not going to spend Dak's money on somebody else and then, oh, crap, well, we didn't know Dak was going to want that much, right? Well, they've got to have some idea, and if they get it done. But, I mean, and I know it's Jerry talking about Jerry seems to think they'll be fine. Are they operating in a position right now where, all right, we're going to assume that Dak is just going to play on his and count $59 million against the cap? So we're going to go into that and we're going to start planning for stuff. If that changes, then we'll adjust.
And that might be there too. I mean, these are all successful businessmen in lots of different industries, and you're forecasting at this point. And are they forecasting with real numbers, or are they forecasting with and so I think right now, until something is done, you've got to go with the contract that's there. And the reality is, the way I understand all this cap stuff with my 8 math degrees, well, that I don't have, if they operate this offseason with Dak under his current deal, when they get a new deal done, that's going to free up a lot of stuff.
Sure.
What's going to push them is to get something they want. Does that put them in hyperspeed to get that trying to get?
Well, yeah, and it sounds good, but
Deadlines
again,
make deals.
we've talked about, but Dak's under no deadline. He's got no deadline.
No, but the Cowboys might create a deadline if there's somebody they're targeting and they need to get Dak's deal done to be able to get that. That creates a deadline.
That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, if you're looking at if Jane is correct, and it may not be till August, it's a lot of water under that free agent bridge that is already passed. And some guys may have already gone their separate ways that the Cowboys might be interested in. I'm just saying that just seems like a long time, and it would be hard for me me to fathom. You Cowboys are okay with Blade, a free agent. You've got the same stick. Traditional muffin ones, nice Chanel buns. You're not just impose them and on
I see a rolling.
Attain area pain and swelling.
Imagine what could relief from IBS mean for you. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Tonight at 6.
Saturday, Sunday, that is the weekend. Maybe add in Thursday.
Now, I'm just saying today it says cloudy skies, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible.
All right.
That's today. Now, would you count that as the weekend?
What's today?
So when I click on
What's tomorrow?
Friday.
That's part of the weekend.
Friday's part of the weekend?
Friday is part of the weekend.
I don't consider I have to work tomorrow, so I don't think that's a
part of the weekend. After you get off work, the weekend is here. You start your weekend.
That's what I'm saying. So
I mean, at the end of our
Friday night,
the end of our Friday show, Pledge plays a little drop that says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend."
Okay,
it starts right now.
So right then,
right then, for us. Some people, Rob Thompson, his weekend is Friday at 10:01.
Yeah, the difference is his Sunday sucks.
Well,
Sunday night.
I was talking to Rob the other day. And I was like, the only time I'm jealous of you is it's 10:07 and you're driving home now. And he was like, yeah, but my alarm went off 7 hours ago. Good point, man. Good point.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, it's true. Rob, my alarm went off an hour and a half ago.
Hour and a half ago.
8:30, and I was talking to him just after 10.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Rob. He loves the morning show.
He does.
Yeah.
I used to do a morning show. I'll never do one again, but I had a sign in my office that said I would enjoy the day much more if it started later.
Sure, I get that.
And that's still true. Although when you get off work at 10 o'clock, you enjoy the rest of your day.
I think I'd be a professional golfer if I got off at 10 o'clock.
I mean, maybe.
But there's no maybe about it because I'd be playing every day.
Yeah, I mean, you say that.
No, I would be doing it.
You say that, but then you'd bitch that, you're playing golf at 1 o'clock and it's hot outside.
No, I wouldn't bitch about that.
Go.
I get all my bitching out from 6 to 10 in the morning. Then I'd be happy as a lark the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a thrilling morning show. I'm bitching all day.
Of
People are
course.
tuning in to wake up and feel good and get the day started.
Yes.
Yes. Alexandra says, thank you, Bill Taylor, for the weekend weather forecast.
You are very welcome.
Don't trust that forecast. Now, granted, I don't trust any of them, even the ones that say they're professional meteorologists.
Well,
unless there's something really big going on.
Sure.
That's when I tune in. Outside of that, just the normal, you're like a baseball player. If you bat 300, you're considered great. Right? That's 30% of the time.
That's a weather person.
There's no other job except weatherman and baseball players where you can be good 30% of the time and be considered successful.
I totally agree with that.
Yes.
That's why there's a rivalry between weather people and sports people.
Is there a rivalry?
There is. It's Texas OU.
Is it rivalry or jealousy?
No, it's rivalry. Texas OU.
I think it's just jealousy.
No.
As an innocent bystander, which I am, and knowing a lot of weather guys and knowing a lot of sports guys, I don't know. Have I ever thought, boy, there's a rivalry between those guys internally. Now, maybe a rivalry between competing stations, but sports guys always bitch that the weather guys get so much time.
Well, they do. They get way too much time.
See, that's jealousy, not a rivalry.
It's not jealousy. It's jealousy. It's just a fact.
Well, it might be a fact they get way too much time, but they get it. And and the sports guys are jealous that the weather guys get that much time.
I will give my good friend Bill Taylor a lot of credit, though. Because a lot of sports guys that I talked to over the years will complain because the weather guy goes long.
Yeah.
Not only does he get all this time, but he goes long and cuts into your sports time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's horrible.
That happens at Channel 4, huh?
Bill Taylor would never do that.
He never went long?
I have no idea if it happens at Channel 4.
What about Channel 12?
Channel 12? Nah. Well,
I mean, it not used to happen. It might could now. I don't know.
Maybe now.
Yeah, maybe now. Greg would never let that happen. I'm not sure if Don does, but
Larry Ramirez has been there almost as long as Greg Simmons. So
well, not quite. He's been there a long time, but I don't even think it was half the time that Greg was there.
No.
I mean, let's be honest.
Simmons was there from the beginning of time.
On black and white television.
Jeez. Oh, man.
But yeah, I mean, kind of one of those things.
So you got to have a weather guy that's respectful of your time, and Bill Taylor always was.
Well, is that on the weather guy? Is that on the producer to say wrap them up?
No, it's on the weather guy because there's a lot of times producers can do all they want. They got their hands going, rap, and the guy yak, just keeps talking.
Well, you're getting a look from James Pledger. There's many times he's like, rap, take a break. We're 4 minutes over, 5 minutes over, and that's the producer's job to keep you on time. But yak.
Well, the producer keeps you on time. The problem is the guy, you ignore the producer.
How come the TV guy, the sports guy can never go long?
Because we're at the end of the show. It's like they cut you off.
Cheers, coming up next.
Exactly. So we don't have a choice. But again, I'm kind of Bill Taylor because
a roundabout way to compliment him.
Well, he was always respectful of my time, and I appreciate
his
that.
8 minutes to your 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, no, there was a little longer than that. I typically get 3 minutes at 10.
Yeah, but you'd end up with 2:15 after it went long, and you were just happy you only went 45 seconds over.
He never went long. That's what I'm saying. He was
never.
Respectful.
Never.
He
just ran out of stuff to say because they gave him too much time to begin with.
I was there long enough where
the
producers kind of, you had a little respect, and so it was good. Now I don't know what's happening over there now, but Bill may be running all over that kid.
Nate.
No, I doubt it. Bill's respectful.
But see, and I think Bill Taylor might say, Nate, stay home tonight. I'm just going to do sports in the middle of weather. And over here, there was a game, the New York Mets lost 7-2. And in New York, the weather is this because why is he giving us an East Coast forecast? I have no idea.
The only thing I didn't like, and look,
here we go.
News directors are weather worshipers, right? Because that's the thing
That's
that
the
drives
reason.
us.
That's
Right.
the reason we tune in.
So when I'd go on Friday nights and I'd have all these highlights, well, and
here we go.
I'd have to stop in the middle of the highlights, Bill would do weather, and then I could come back.
What?
Yeah, I hated that.
Here we go.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So wait, in the middle of the highlights.
Well, yeah, no, you do like however many games. If I had 10 games, I'm doing.
Yeah.
I do like 5 in the first segment. But then I have to stop because, well, the meter says weather needs to go right here. It's all about ratings.
Uh-huh.
And so then Bill would do his thing.
And the weather guy.
Yeah.
So
it's all about
weather.
weather.
In the middle of,
so my
showing
thing,
Brandeis O'Connor highlights.
No, I would be done with that. I'd be done with that. And then I'd say, oh, well, it's halftime. Here's Bill Taylor, your marching band leader.
And it was 17-13 at that point. And then before kickoff, Bill Taylor with an update on the forecast.
Yes.
And then Brandeis stormed back and they drilled O'Connor and sent the Panthers into misery. Because I know there was a rivalry between you and Billy T when it came to
friendly
O'Connor
rivalry.
And Brandeis.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. That was the only rivalry. The rest of it was jealousy.
No, it's no jealousy.
Spurs out in Sacramento tonight. No Wemby. And, we were talking about this earlier, and Ryan Eagle just leans back in his chair and says, well, I can't say it the way he actually said it, but it's my fault with a couple of F words that might have been in there.
Yeah,
and
it is your fault.
How is it my fault?
You said the other day that Wemby should play in the game against Houston because you never know. I mean, he might sprain his ankle. Did you not say that?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Guess what happened?
He sprained his ankle.
Well,
and again, he needs to get to that 65 minimum. So if there's a game that
he's got a sprained ankle.
Well, and he's going to miss one. He's going to miss one.
Only one?
At least one.
Uh-huh.
At least one. He continued to play, but that's why I say you can't take a game off if getting him the Rookie of the Year award is important to him and the Spurs and the fans. He's got to play 65 games. You can't, your shoulder, you're fine. Go play because you never know when a real injury is going to happen.
Or if he wouldn't have played and sat because of the shoulder, guess what? He'd be in the lineup tonight.
Here we go.
Ready to go.
Here we go. But he turned his ankle while giving up 45 points to Sengun.
He's just like, Sengun.
That dude
sounds like an evil dude.
Sengun.
Send in the Sengun.
In hockey, we call them the goons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send him in.
Uh-huh.
Well, hopefully it's not anything serious and he'll be okay.
But you look, it was a Karl Anthony Towns meniscus. You know, long.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's a team that thinks they got a chance to go to the NBA Finals this year.
I think they do.
Now you wonder not. But again, how much time is it going to miss?
Because they've got the Defensive Player of the Year over there.
Well, I mean, we'll see how much those numbers go down.
Well, of course, right?
Yeah, because he lost his sidekick. So does that if Wemby can get his ankle together and can he get back out there and increase his numbers there, he might be a DPOY because he's going to get to 65
Well,
games.
he's got to play first.
Well, it's a race to 65.
So just don't say anything about Wemby and ankles or anything else.
It
right?
ain't my fault, man.
It is your fault.
It's not my fault.
It's completely your fault.
If you washing your car had nothing to do with the sprinkle today, me saying you got to worry about a sprained ankle has nothing to do with the dude spraining his ankle.
Well, I think mine's a little bit less of the situation. You said sprained ankle, and he comes up with a sprained ankle.
Dude, I can see the future, man. I tell you all the time how things are going to happen. One of these days, you're going to start listening to me.
So how bad is the ankle?
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Will he be back next game?
Yes.
What's today, Thursday? They play again on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine. I'm more worried about his ego after that butt kicking he took the other night than I am his ankle. I'm more worried about his sternum because Sengun was burying himself in the
in his chest.
That chest.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
All right.
Just saying.
So I don't know what the line was before the news of Wemby and what it is now. It's got to be big.
Well, when the Spurs released he was going to be out in the middle of the night last night.
Well, yeah, they did. They're trying to hide it from you.
I mean, I wake up and I see the notification from the Spurs and it says 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
Huh. Well, no Wemby tonight. You can thank Jason Minix for that.
You're welcome, everybody. That means you don't have to stay up late.
Yeah. Hopefully he's just out one game, though.
Maybe two. I mean, it is an ankle. And those things can be tricky.
They can be.
I mean, you think about...
Now you're a doctor or what?
Well, I mean, I play one on the radio. I mean, you think about how many games did he miss when he stepped on the ball kid's ankle and
well, then that
Dallas.
Put him on a minutes restriction for about a month and a half.
Well, and the minutes restriction was 20 minutes because that's the minimum needed to qualify for this. It's 65 games of at least 20 minutes.
Yes.
So if you played 18 and turn your ankle and you miss one, that doesn't count.
You're screwed.
And he stayed in the game last night or 2 nights ago to but he ended up with like 31 minutes. So I think the ankle's fine. He'll be all right.
So the Kings are 10.5-point favorites
Only
tonight.
10.5.
10.5.
Only
That's as
10
it stands right now. Yes. Go Devin Vassell.
Yep. We've got a pair of Jeff Tate tickets to give away.
Nice.
Next Saturday night, Aztec Theater, Jeff Tate. You want to go? We got a pair of tickets for you right now. Going to caller number 9, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Jeff Tate at the Aztec Theater. A pair of tickets are yours if you're caller number 9. If you're not caller number 9, you could always buy the tickets at livenation.com. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. There is a massive fight coming to AT&T Stadium, Jerry World up in Dallas. It's going to be a show. We'll give you the details coming up here on the Blitz. If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. I was over there today because he's made me, I picked it up, a new Nike golf shirt with the 94-1 logo on it. Looks fantastic. You need your logo on any kind of gear, go see Sam. You need your logo on a nice golf shirt, he'll do that for you. I got one shirt. You need one item, 10 items, 200, 200,000, it doesn't matter. Sam will get you taken care of. No order too big, certainly no order too small. Need that logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. You need uniforms done. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries, medical, restaurant, construction, schools, leagues, to name a few. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps, man, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big, and all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM, Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. Now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail, who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. Your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
San Antonians love a good party, and the Valero Texas Open is one you don't want to miss. Enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. So buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 4th through the 7th.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Just got word from the Valero Texas Open. A couple of more commitments for that tournament coming up next month. Tommy Fleetwood highlights that commitment. They've got a bunch of guys out there. Again, the Valero Texas Open coming up in April. Dallas Cowboys don't know when they're going to reach an agreement with their quarterback, Dak Prescott. In fact, the NFL Network's Jane Slater says it could be as late as April.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
August. It is the Blitz. You're on 94.1.
They both start with A.
San Antonio Sports Star. He's A. Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
You know, it's funny how that happens, right? I'm reading a story about the Valero Texas Open. Big announcement today. Tommy Fleetwood, the mullet himself, coming in. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
That tournament's in April. I had April on the brain.
Yeah.
Jane Slater said August for Dak Prescott.
Jane Slater will join us on the Blitz in about an hour and 15 minutes. At 4:15, we will talk to the great Jane Slater from the NFL Network with her report today, which seems, other than the August part, it's kind of what we've known. But the Dak news, the Cowboys cycle, it never stops.
Never
You
stops.
feed the beast.
Yep.
And that's what we do. Kind of like all the Dalton Schultz stuff the other day. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into that coming up too.
Dalton Schultz.
We will. Lots of things happening.
What a cheese ball.
It's your favorite player.
Yes, of course.
Why do you hate Dalton Schultz?
I don't. Love him. He's great.
He's a liar. I've known you long enough, but doing this show with you, when I hear love him, he's great. You are so sarcastic. You are so. I mean, when you catch the lies clinking off your teeth, you could hear them.
I love you, Dak.
Like a hockey shot that hits the goalpost, and you hear that ding. I mean, you could hear that ding. I love him. Ding. Off the crossbar.
I'm sure Dalton Schultz is a great guy.
No, he's kind of not.
Is he not?
He's sensitive.
Well, you hate him now because he's wearing another jersey.
I mean, no. I mean, nice. I don't want to say nice guy. I mean, he's overly sensitive. He seems to block a lot of people on Twitter if he disagrees with them.
Yeah, he is overly sensitive.
Those kind of guys.
Speaking of working out, maybe he's ashamed of the weights he's lifting. He don't want anybody watching him. Poor guy. It's like a zoo. They're watching me work out.
And again, unless they've renovated the weight room at the Texans facility, you can watch those guys work out.
Well, who the hell's watching those guys in Houston?
Well, that's it. They can't sell a ticket to tour their facility.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
Training camp's free. Come on. Let's see. 1, 2. Today's attendance 8. I mean, that's how it used to be with the Oilers when they would practice here at Trinity.
Even and they had some great teams at that time.
Hey, Warren Moon's down there.
Yeah.
Eddie George.
Yes. 20 people. I was
and
there.
half of that was family.
Exactly.
And the other half was media.
Yeah, I was there. I would go cover those guys.
And the one guy with a helmet to get signed to take to eBay.
Oh, well, good for Dalton. He's at a well-oiled machine now.
Yeah,
exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah, we'll get into that coming up here in a few minutes. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I guess we should give him credit for making it till March, but Ben Simmons has been shut down for the rest of the season.
Imagine that. Wow. I hope when he was shut down, he was, at least holding a gun and
a gun.
What
the hell do you mean?
He's been robbing the NBA his entire career, so you might as well continue with it. That dude, what? Unbelievable. Shut down again, and I'm sure in Brooklyn they're going, okay, whatever.
But you made it till March.
Well, did he? I don't know.
It is March 7th.
Well, it is March 7th. But I mean, how long has he been out?
He made it to March before being shut down for the rest of the year.
That is an improvement.
Yes.
I will give him that. Yeah, no doubt.
So when you got the email this morning from the Cowboys or AT&T Stadium announcing Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, what was your first thought?
Actually, my first thought was, that Jake Paul, all he does is make money.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another circus, which is all it's going to be, but people are going to watch it. And he just makes money. So I'm like, how can you be mad at that dude? I mean, I don't know what the money situation is for those guys, but it's got to be significant, right? And people will pony up and probably watch it on pay-per-view. It's Netflix.
It's going to be live on Netflix. So, I mean, you have to have Netflix. Here's the thing. I mean, my first thought, I was like, is this a joke? Right. And then, all right, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's 57. He'll still kick your ass. But Jake Paul has proven to be a legit fighter. It is. I think it started gimmicky, but ultimately, he is a legit fighter. But at 57 years old, Mike Tyson is still a beast. That guy is still. I mean, would you?
Well, no, I wouldn't. But I don't know if Mike Tyson needs the money. Maybe he's out again.
With this marijuana business in Vegas, I don't think he's anywhere close to being out of money. He's smoking a lot of profits, but why not? If you're going to make, who knows what kind of money they're going to make? I have not read anything yet that says what they are. Well, Pledge is showing video of Mike Tyson sparring. I mean, the last time I saw Mike Tyson in person, was it in L.A. on Radio Row when he was walking around?
Yeah.
he looks like he could still hurt you. Evander Holyfield, we saw him. Rob and I interviewed him at Radio Row in Atlanta, and neither one of us could just not stop looking at his ear. I don't know that Evander could still get in the ring and go, right? Based on just walking around, seeing somebody. Mike Tyson does not look like a 57-year-old that shouldn't be doing this anymore. Like, I'm worried for Jake Paul.
I wouldn't be worried about Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul can handle himself.
Against Mike Tyson?
Sure. Now,
I mean, he's not Peter McNeely, but at 57, Mike Tyson looks like he could still.
Sounds like a beer bet once we get closer.
It might be. it might be.
I don't know. Look, it's a circus. It's a couple of guys want to make money. I know Pledge has already said he's in. He's going to watch. Jake Paul, by the way, is only 27. Jerry knows how to make money. He's going to have it at his place. That's, I mean, and it will, the place will be packed. It will be. And because people are hungry for boxing. We have no boxers in this country anymore that you can get behind. There's no Muhammad Ali. There's no Sugar Ray Leonard. There's no Floyd Mayweather. There's no Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson in his prime. And you just don't have it anymore. And boxing is still, especially in this town. I know MMA is the thing and all that, but I mean, boxing in this town is huge.
When you look at what boxing needs, because boxing is still one of those sports, kind of like when people start saying baseball is dead. Baseball is far from dead. Baseball is very regional, and those regional sports networks make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Look at the contracts. Baseball is far from hurting. Boxing is the same way. Every fight, every big fight in Vegas, they sell out. They make $1 gazillion on pay-per-view, but we don't have that great American heavyweight champion. There's still some big names in boxing that people will gravitate to, but at the same time, you don't have that heavyweight champion from the United States. That's what boxing needs. I would like to see, although I don't know that it will ever happen, unification, and that's has always been one of the problems in boxing. You got this belt over here and this belt over here, and
too many.
This fighters with this guy, so you can't fight that guy. It's like college football and the conferences. Just bring them all together under one umbrella. This state has this rule, that state has that rule. But when a big boxing card is rolling around, it sells.
It does.
It will be interesting. Like Showtime got out of the boxing game. Looks like Amazon Prime is going to pick up a lot of big fights. There's a big fight happening in Vegas when we're going to be out there in a couple of weeks at the end of this month, March 30th. There's a big fight at the T-Mobile Center. So there are still a lot of big fights, but boxing is lacking that American heavyweight champion.
Well, maybe Mike Tyson makes a comeback at 57. He goes on to win 20 fights.
I mean, George Foreman 10 years later, 15 years later. And no, I don't. But I think that's why this is going to be such a draw, because it's Mike Tyson.
It's going to be a draw. I don't think there's any question. Give Jake Paul a little credit. I think this guy has he has fought some guys and stepped into the ring with some of the best. And I think he deserves a little credit for this too. I don't know how Mike Tyson's going to do against Jake Paul or vice versa, but I just a 57-year-old man. And I know I'm getting the same video, by the way, Pledge, sent to me via Facebook and Twitter and all of that stuff. And I get it. He looks great. He looks fantastic. He's 57. Maybe that doesn't matter anymore. We'll see. Good for all of them. They're going to make a lot of money. Jerry's going to make money, and it's all good. Robert Spencer's making fun of me for calling it a circus.
Well,
on YouTube. I mean, is that not what it's going to be? It means nothing other than they're going to fight.
It's an exhibition.
That's all it is. So, yeah, it's a circus. And we all like the circus. So we'll all watch.
And Bubba Rivas says last time Mike Tyson fight was a joke. And there have been some of those fights with Mike Tyson. But there's so much money at stake for this guy right now and with Jake Paul. And I do give Jake Paul a ton of credit. When he first started, I was and he has proven everybody wrong. He is a legit fighter, and he has figured out a way to make a whole lot of money. And I'm, part of you, all right. I mean, I know it's because the dollar amount must have been right, but you've got the balls to get into the ring with Mike Tyson, even though he's 57 years old. That's ballsy. Big ones. And that
we're not talking about Mike Tyson of 30 years ago. We're talking about Mike Tyson now. I mean, he's 57 years old. I know anybody can look good in the ring against some, bald dude holding a bunch of pads up, and he looks great. But when you get in when somebody's actually hitting back, I mean, he may not look as great.
All right, so let me ask you this, though. I think about Mike Tyson at this point. He was such a great technical fighter.
Yeah.
He was a brawler, but he was a fighter, smart, instinctive, everything that made him a great fighter. He had the power, right? Now, and he could take the punch. Now you add all of that and old man strength.
Old man strength. Wait a minute. What is that?
Well, you know what old man strength is, right? I mean, I think about now he's got old man strength, not just, his power, but his old man strength.
Look, I'm curious. I'll watch, and I want to see, what it's all about. But, I mean, it means nothing other than these guys are going to make a lot of money. We're going to have a night on a Saturday night, I'm assuming, that we're going to, get together, have a few beers and some pizza, and it's all going to be fun. So it's good for everybody.
I'm going to be in New York, and I'm trying to figure out where am I going to go watch this while I'm in New York. You'll be at the Rue Pub.
Well, sure, and Chip will make money, and I mean, it's great. So it's good for everybody.
It's good for everybody.
Yes,
yeah,
but it's a circus.
A lot of people want to see you get your ass kicked or fight people.
I'm looking at this over here.
Ryan Eagle versus Sean Payton. Ryan Eagle versus Dak for charity.
Now, Dak, I couldn't take Dak. I think I could take Sean Payton.
Old man strength.
Yeah. I think I could take Sean Payton.
Morning show versus the Blitz.
I know we can take those guys. I just have to move to my left, and Rob's going to go, ow, my back.
Wow. Ryan Eagle versus Schultz.
I don't know. Dalton's pretty sensitive guy.
Well, you can't hit him there.
I'll just say something bad about him and go in the corner and start crying.
He'd kick your ass.
Yeah.
He'd kick your ass.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
I wonder how much money we could make at a charity if people got to punch you in the face. Or throw a pie at your face, or one of those kind of things.
I would have to be making some money at that point, too.
Well, it'd be for charity.
Sure.
You'd raise a lot of money for your favorite charity, the Ryan Eagle Shopping Fund,
sure.
the Ryan Eagle Vacation Fund, the Ryan Eagle Beer Fund.
I've done a lot of dumb things for charity. I'm not
Ryan
opposed.
Eagle Vegas Fund.
Yes, now that's always good.
Not enough money. I mean,
you underestimate how many people probably want to hit him in the face.
Yeah, you underestimate Joe in Vegas. I've seen it.
Well, it depends. Sometimes Joe does well in Vegas.
Sometimes.
Last time we were there, you saw magnificence.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. Dude, I'm all for I've seen a dunk tank here. These people are creative on YouTube.
A dunk tank, creative.
Well,
I mean,
so Minix, I'm driving home last night, and I talking to Pledge, but I'm listening before we talk. He's got a name for his YouTube group. The morning show has a name for their YouTube group. We don't. Are we missing out?
No. What is the name of Pledges?
The dugout or the bullpen. One of the two.
When did that happen?
Yesterday, I think.
Yeah, last night.
So you got everybody in the dugout?
And what's the morning show? The bar rats?
The morning brigade.
Bar rats. That's probably ours.
Yeah, there you go.
The John Sobry says, I'm a blitzer.
A blitzer. There you go.
You're blitzed. And we sound better when you are.
Yeah, if you're not, you should be.
Good Lord.
It'll be fun to watch Tyson and Jake Paul go at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, I'll be pulling for the old guy. All us old guys got to stick together.
Old man strength.
Yeah.
Coming in.
We got to stick together, us old dudes.
Yep. Joshua, we have to actually be able to say the name on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
See, here's the thing. And I had a consultant tell us this a long time ago. And I don't know if I believe consultants or not. If you agree with them, they're brilliant. And if you disagree with them, they're the biggest idiots, but the company's paying them, so you got to listen to them, right? I mean, that's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
But having a like listener club with a name, it excludes the vast majority of your audience, and you don't want to do that.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Sure.
We used to have like the Caller Hall of Fame when we were the Zone, and all that kind of stuff. So when you nickname a group of listeners and they're part of a club, and then you talk to them, you feel like you're leaving everybody else. That's what the consultant said at the time.
Got you.
But I kind of agree with that, because like when I'm listening to Jim Rome and he's talking about stuff that I'm clueless about, because he was off the radio in this city for a decade. I have no idea what he's talking about when he's talking to those sections of the clones. And I'm like, all right. So I kind of agree with that. So I don't know that I want a...
We're going to be different.
See, and Claymore says Morning Brigade is corny as hell, and he puts corny in all caps.
There you go.
Right.
So we're just going to let you guys be the...
You're the YouTube commenters.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah,
on our YouTube channel.
On our YouTube channel.
And all of you driving around right now listening, thank you very much. You are a special group as well.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe the specialist group of all.
Well, I just want everybody to feel included.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
That's what it's all about. See, Pledge, here's something from the morning show, so he's going to steal it. You got the brigade, I got the dugout.
The brigade.
Problem is, you can only get 9 guys in a dugout. So I don't know if you want a group that's so limited.
Only 9?
I don't know. How many sit in a dugout?
It's
not more than 15. What's a roster?
25.
And well, I'm thinking like high school. I mean, he's a little league guy. So, I mean, some are standing. There's not a seat for everybody. You're on the bus. Here we go. And then I thought we were talking about changing the name of your show.
I was all for it.
What are we going to change it to? Not extra innings?
Well, I mean, extra innings makes sense. It's seasonal, right?
Right.
And then,
overtime?
Well, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Pledge wanted the last word because he feels like he should get it.
Now, see, I like that.
The
That's
Pledge or
good.
Power Hour.
All right. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
that'd make his head explode.
I mean, it already does.
Well, it does.
You're doing a show today, Pledge?
No, we got basketball.
Yeah. See, I think it should be called The Inconsistent.
It's consistent.
Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not.
Yeah, well, you can blame the Aggies for that, Pledge.
Except it's NBA tonight.
Oh, it is. Well, blame the Aggies anyway. It doesn't matter.
I can blame those damn Mavericks.
Those Mavericks.
Heat Mavs.
Mm-hmm. So remember hearing about that Chiefs fan who suffered frostbite during that game against Miami?
I think there were several.
There were several.
Yeah.
But one had it worse than the others.
Uh-huh.
He's going to need things amputated.
Dude, that's crazy. That really is. And we talked about it, that, it's one thing for the players to be out there playing in that stuff, but it's another thing for the fans. And a lot of them were holding up signs saying, it's not that cold out here, and it's this and it's that. But when you're starting to chop things off, that's not good.
Well, I mean, there's that. But one of your biggest fears in life, one of the skier injuries that we often hear about.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not that for this individual in Kansas City. I think that if, the headline would be completely different if Chiefs fan who suffered frostbite in -4-degree weather at Dolphins game needs amputations. If it were that, Chiefs fan losing his
I don't know.
His penis is being amputated after it was frozen at the football game. It would be a very different headline. I think we're losing toes here.
Well, fingers maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even imagine paying money to go out there and sit in -4-degree weather. I don't have to be that tough.
Well, you're not.
And the stadium was packed.
It was. They were all drunk.
Well, sure.
I mean, you would have to be.
You'd have
Although
to be.
the people that live there have the proper clothing to go out and do that stuff.
What's proper clothing?
Well,
an igloo?
An igloo. Do you know what an igloo is, sir?
I know what an igloo is, but I'm just saying that's like -4 degrees.
Well, I mean, there's clothes. I remember talking to Christy Scales, the Cowboys sideline reporter, and they played a game against the Bears a couple years ago, and it was like 7 degrees or something stupid like that. And it was almost like a motorcycle outfit that had heaters in it that were battery packed.
Right.
You know, and you think about people that go skiing or they live in that stuff. They know how to dress in layers. There are ways to do that and go and enjoy a football game in non-degree weather. I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me to do it.
No.
Well, actually, you could pay me to do it.
Really?
You can pay me to do a lot of things.
Well, I mean, every man has his price, but
yeah,
man, that's would be a miserable 3 or 4 hours.
Well, I mean, do you go snow skiing?
It's been a long time.
See, I don't like that. I've never gone. Well, I have gone. My wife used to be on the ski team at her high school.
Really?
In Washington State. My wife apparently is one hell of a skier.
Wow. I know the athlete of the family is in your family.
Well,
and it ain't you.
It's great beer drinking sport. You know my wife.
Exactly.
But my wife was a hell of a skier. And, all throughout, the Seattle area, Canada, they used to go ski competitively in high school. It was competitive. And I went skiing one time. I was stationed in New Jersey, and we went skiing in Vermont. Oh, the hell with that. Yeah, I think it sucks. It's cold. Skiing is not my thing. And so when we were first married, she would go skiing with her sisters or friends. I've never gone with her. I have no idea.
Well, I tell you what,
it's not my thing.
-4 degrees, though.
Well, but it's stupid cold.
It is cold.
There are clothes there that you can buy to be, and that's what these people that live in cities like that.
Jeez.
It's like people that I want to go to a game in Green Bay in December. That does not sound like fun to me.
No.
I don't need to see the frozen tundra actually frozen.
I'd like to go in September.
I would like to see a preseason game in Green Bay.
No, regular season game in September. I can handle that.
September, maybe, but I have no desire to go see Lambeau Field in all its glory as the frozen tundra.
No, I don't want to see it frozen.
That's what television is for.
Yes. But I do want to go to Lambeau Field. That's a bucket list thing for me.
In September.
But it has to be September, yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't even risk it in October.
I want like week 2.
Just to make sure, because October it could be.
It could be
80 or it could be 9.
So I'm thinking week 2, nice Green Bay, Minnesota game or something, or, one of those good NFC North Division rivalries on the frozen tundra.
Although it wouldn't be frozen.
Lambeau Field.
It wouldn't be frozen.
No, it wouldn't. And that would be the best thing about it.
I'd like to, I don't know, go in July, take a tour, watch guys lift weights, and see the stadium.
Yeah, you'll make them uncomfortable.
I probably would.
Yes, you will.
But Dalton Schultz doesn't play there. The draft is Atlanta next.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a blast.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see a football game there, though.
Well,
in September.
Yes. Well, let's make it happen.
Okay.
I mean, call John and he'll get you tickets.
Oh, there's no question. He will.
You can go over there. You'll be good to go.
We don't have dates yet on, do we?
The schedule is not out yet, sir.
All right.
We all know that. And then you'll find a reason not to go. Because while it all sounds good, the reality is you're still in Green Bay.
Well, I mean, Chuck Mickatinick from Fox goes all the time. He loves it.
Well, he's from there.
Well, I don't know if he's from there. Does he have family there?
I believe so.
He goes all the time to see his family.
You realize Chuck His dad is a military badass. And so Chuck probably lived all over growing up.
Now, see, there's no dates or times yet.
Well,
but,
literally, we just said they haven't released the schedule.
Yeah, but the schedule's out. There's just
the schedule is not out.
I'm looking at it right here. 2024 Green Bay Packers schedule. Their first home game is the third game of the season against the Chicago Bears.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at it. They open up at Chicago, then they go to Detroit, then they're Chicago. Or maybe that's not how it's going to go, but that's who they play.
We know who their home opponents are going to be. We know who their road opponents are going to be.
But we still have dates yet.
Well, order. The schedule gets released every May, shortly after the draft.
Right. They have a big TV thing
absolutely.
on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're looking right at it, but you're not.
They got the Dolphins coming in.
Don't make travel plans based on that.
The Texans are going to Green Bay.
This is what I have to do. Oh, see, there
you go.
See, Pledge is going to plan to go, and then he's going to realize that's a Thursday night in December.
I'm okay with that.
You can stay a guy that used to work here, Arnie PCP, the Polish cheesehead princess who moved back
That's
home.
right. We could stay with Arnie.
He's got a farm out there, but his radio station that he's working for there in Milwaukee has two houses. The backyard, you have the two houses there. The radio station owns them, and the backyard leads right to Lambeau Field.
We're staying with Arnie then. I think that'd be great.
You better confirm that with Hannah first. And she might put your ass in the barn.
Yeah, she might. Hannah and I go way back. I knew Hannah when I was here the first time.
Yeah. Long before she was married to Arnie.
Yeah.
But now they got like 87 kids. And so, and farm animals all over the place. Every time I see them post photos on Facebook, I wonder who the hell those people are. Because they're not the same people that I remember from here.
Right.
Like, you're a farmer, Hannah.
Wow.
Did not see that left turn coming for your life.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, man. Well, we got to make that happen.
Sure. There is something coming that we probably all could have expected.
Uh-huh.
An unauthorized Jerry Jones biography is in the works. Let's talk about it next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, though, let's talk about life's unexpected curveballs. You ever been hit with challenges that leave your smile in the dust? I got some uplifting news for you this afternoon from Doctor's Implants. Life can certainly throw some serious hurdles our way, and at Doctor's Implants, they meet patients every day facing the fallout of medical conditions causing their teeth to go south. But at Doctor's Implants, they're on a mission to bring back your smile no matter what life has thrown your way. So if health-related dental problems have been holding you back, don't lose hope. Doctor's Implants is your ticket to a fresh start. You can check them out for yourself at doctorsimplants.com. But when you call them at 210-640-0000, mention that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from The Blitz. Well, that's your key to a complimentary consultation and a CT scan. Don't let life's challenges steal your smile. Call Doctor's Implants today, 210-640-0000.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs do it? Do they stand atop the mountaintops? Did 121 happen? We're looking back at the Kings game.
Plus, legendary pitcher Roger Clemens joins us to talk all things baseball and who knows whatever else. And it's Oscars weekend. We're talking about it Morning Huddle style.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've got a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radios, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
This year, wouldn't you like to stop feeling self-conscious about your receding hairline or thinning hair? Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow from New Nordic as an effective way to get thicker-looking hair. Hair Grow is backed by an exclusive U.S. patent and is clinically proven to promote more hair growth. Ask for Hair Grow at your local Walgreens or shop online at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. That's new, NORDIC USA.com, Amazon, or ask for Hair Grow at your local Walgreens.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the home of the Aggies. This is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our Spring Golf Classic, couple weeks away. We're damn near sold out. So if you've been thinking about playing and you haven't signed up yet, don't procrastinate. We'll probably be sold out by this time next week for sure. SASportsStar.com is where you go get registered. We're playing Monday, March 25th at the Golf Club of Texas, presented by Flight by Yingling and Sierra Auto Group, and then our big after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill. Here's the thing. You don't have to play in the golf tournament to come party with us at 90 Proof Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're out and about, live in that area, just want to hang out, but you're not a golfer, when you get off work or doing whatever it is you're doing, we're going to be doing the Blitz live at 90 Proof from 2 to 6 and beyond.
Yeah, of course.
The show will end at 6.
Yeah.
The beyond part will.
The beyond part's
yeah.
Where we get to enjoy a cold one or two.
Yes. So make your plans there for Monday, March 25th. SASportsStar.com to get your foursome signed up. And it happens every golf tournament. If we get down to the wire, we tell you you're going to sell out. We sell out, and then we get the Well, you didn't hold any back, man. I finally got my fourth to commit.
Just buy the team and then get your fourth. You know you're going to get him to commit.
Exactly.
Or her.
Yes. So one of the best investigative reporters at ESPN is Don Van Etta.
Uh-huh.
And we've had Don on this show many times. I was texting with him earlier. He'll be on next week to talk about this. He's in Boston right now working on something, and so
Ooh,
yeah,
undercover.
Well, I mean, you never know. But he's working on a book about Jerry Jones, although it's an unauthorized Jerry Jones biography. Don is working on it now, expected to be published in 2026. The working title, The Star.
Wow. And of course, Jerry has that Netflix special that's coming out pretty soon. I don't know if that this year or next, but they're working on that as well. And they've been working on that for some time. That's authorized. However, this is not.
Well, and I wonder, when you say authorized, I wonder if Jerry gets to preview and approve each episode before it goes out.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or I've given you guys access, put this thing together.
Yeah.
Or while things are happening, I can't use that. I don't know. I mean, if it's a true behind the scenes, there has to be some stuff in there that would make the Joneses a little uncomfortable, right? Otherwise, it just looks like a propaganda film.
I don't think Jerry gives a damn. I mean, this guy's, he's got all these lawsuits that are out there now, and that didn't seem to bother him. Jerry's always seemed to me that any publicity is good publicity. Now, I don't know what Van Natter's going to do, and whether he's going to throw dirt or if he's going to, what's he going to do? But,
well, if you think about Don and some of his investigative reporting, like this entire lawsuit involving the kid that's trying to get Jerry to give a DNA test. That was Don's investigative reporting that broke that story. And he's had I don't want to say a close relationship, which is why I want to get Don on. I don't know how close their relationship is, but I know Don has had pretty unique access to Jerry Jones.
The funny thing about this is, and why it's unauthorized, I don't know. But when I hear that unauthorized, means there's going to be some things in there that Jerry might not like.
Yes.
I mean, so that's what but the point is, you got Netflix doing something on Jerry Jones, and Nata now is doing something on Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is sellable.
Yes.
I mean, this guy is still at the top at 81 years old. He's still at the top of his game. People want to know about him. People want to see what he's doing and how he's doing it. And it's just a fact, or all of this stuff wouldn't be happening.
It's funny as you say it that way, because we talk about Dak Prescott right now being the face of the franchise. Jerry Jones is the face of the franchise.
Sure.
And I don't know of any other NFL owner. I don't know of any other sports league owner that you would say is the face of an organization. You look in college athletics, it's always the coach, right? The big name coaches are always kind of the face of the program, whether you're talking about college football or college basketball. There are star players, but in college football, they come and go. In the NFL, in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, you have star players that become a face of that franchise from a player standpoint. And to a degree, you have that in Dallas with Dak Prescott and a Micah Parsons, maybe a CeeDee Lamb. Those would be your big three, but none of them have a draw quite like Jerry Jones.
And Jerry's always had that draw. I mean, you either love him or you hate him, but either way, you want to know what the hell he's up to. And that's the way it is. And that's how people get as popular as Jerry is. And look, Jerry is the ultimate salesman. He has vaulted that Cowboys organization into the richest franchise in pro sports. It just is. And so what he does and when he talks on camera, people criticize or they love him. He's just one of those iconic, individuals that you want to follow.
Well, and I look at, like Pledge says, closest thing would be Mark Cuban. And to a degree, but Mark Cuban it's become such a celebrity on its own because of Shark Tank and some other things. I don't think Mark as face of the Mavericks. He's kind of like Larry Ballmer with the Clippers. Very visible, does a lot of stuff, but famous for business, and he owns a basketball team. Matt Ishbia, now owner of the Phoenix Suns, I think will grow into that. But partly because he's Jerry Jones and he's the general manager and he's the owner and he does so much press, I don't even think that Mark Cuban is a close second, or Ballmer. There are other famous owners, but not when you think Mark Cuban, do you immediately think Dallas Mavericks?
Well, I think when he first bought the team, yes.
Well, I think we do because we're sports fans in the sports world. But if I were to ask my mom about Mark Cuban, she's not going to know he owns a basketball team.
She's going to know him from Shark Tank.
She's going to know him from Shark Tank,
Sure.
or from some of these other kinds of shows. He's famous for other reasons. Jerry's famous because he owns the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are America's team. It's like in college basketball, college football, you generally name a legendary coach before you do a legendary player, or you see a coach and you identify that program based on the coach. You don't do that with players. And I think Jerry has that kind of connection that you have with your university that he has with the NFL and the sports world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, Jerry is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are Jerry Jones. I mean, they're one and the same. And that's why he does what he does. Publicity, and Jerry understands that it's good, whether it's good publicity, bad publicity, and that's why he gets in front of the camera after every game.
Yep.
He gets in front of the camera at training camp. He gets in front of the camera at the combine, and it's to keep that out there. And I think Jerry, for the people that don't like Jerry Jones, I think they're missing the boat. I really do, because I don't think Jerry's as bad as people want to blame somebody. They always do, right? And it's always Jerry's fault. We've heard that this week. It's Jerry's fault.
Well,
it's not. It's not Jerry's fault. It's not. And there's Jerry does what Jerry does. He puts teams on. And does he make mistakes? Of course,
sure.
They all do. But the Cowboys' issues can't all be laid at Jerry Jones' feet.
No, but he is the owner and the general manager, so ultimately it's his responsibility.
What other franchise do you lay the blame at the general manager's feet?
Everyone.
Well, not.
No, seriously. I mean, the ultimate decision maker. He's the captain of the ship. As an old Navy guy, the old saying, the captain of the ship's going down with the ship. He's not going to hit the life raft if it's sinking first before everybody else. He's the last one off. Jerry, ultimate decision maker. He's the big boss. It falls on him. We'll blame Dak Prescott. You'll blame, Dan Quinn became the scapegoat to a degree this year. But ultimately, did he put together a roster capable of winning a Super Bowl? He did. It didn't happen. Was it his fault? I mean, to your point, the video you made yesterday, it's not like he threw an interception or missed a tackle. But as the general manager, yes. As the owner, ultimately his responsibility.
Well, all you can do is it's like the owner of any company. You hire people that you think can get the job done.
Yep.
And if they don't, ultimately, I guess that falls at your feet. But you hired the people that you thought, and every Cowboy fan thought that Jerry hired the right people this time around.
Well, I mean,
those people let Jerry down.
And we've thought that for 30 years. But ultimately, I mean, if you're going to blame somebody, you blame the ultimate boss. Ultimately, his responsibility. Now, at the same time,
he's easy to blame, though.
Well,
because he is out in public so much.
Well,
most GMs are not.
No, but most GMs take the heat. Like we said the other day, how in the hell does the GM in Denver still have his job with all the idiotic mistakes he has made? And when he gets fired, we're going to be like, well, what the hell took so long? Right? I mean, you hired all these people, you signed at these bad contracts. You say all the time, well, you can't blame Jerry. Dak has Jerry over the barrel with that ridiculous contract that Jerry signed him. So is that Dak's fault that Jerry offered him all that money?
No.
All right. So that's Jerry's fault.
Jerry's fault.
All right. So you can blame Jerry.
Well, of course you can blame Jerry. I'm not saying that all of it is not Jerry's fault, and I've never said that.
But Jerry has created an atmosphere around Dallas that makes them bigger and different than so many other organizations, which is a good thing for most. Now, some players can't thrive in that kind of environment, being in a zoo, but when you go to the Cowboys, you kind of know what you're walking into.
And you want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Most players want to play for that franchise.
And what baffles me about some of the comments made by Dalton Schultz yesterday on the Pat McAfee show, Dalton Schultz, I think I've talked to him twice. I don't know the guy. I know that he blocks a lot of people on Twitter, and he doesn't handle criticism well, and he didn't, wasn't overly friendly with the Dallas media towards the end, whatever, right? So, I have an opinion of him, but it's based on things that I've heard. So I don't know how sensitive or small-minded he is, but if you go to a major program, like if you're in high school and you're going to play at UT or Texas A&M or Alabama, the lights are going to be bright, and you've got to handle that. The Cowboys, all right, so you don't know any other organization in the way they do it, because you've only played for one when you get drafted, like Dalton Schultz did, and then you go somewhere else that doesn't get near the attention. What do you think? And I'm not trying to be critical of the Houston Texans, but if you were to put a percentage on attention, Cowboys versus Texans, 5%?
Maybe.
2%?
I mean, maybe, honestly.
Pledge a big Texans fan, maybe 2% of the attention.
Well, we saw it, and we just talked about it earlier in the show when the Oilers were good. They had the damn good football teams. They come here to Trinity, and you'd be 20 people out there. Cowboys would fill the Alamo Dome to watch practice.
Well,
there's a difference.
And again, Pledge is saying CJ has made it bigger because people continue to talk about him. And that's, right now, because they've been so bad. I mean, a year ago, 2 years ago, it might have been less than 1%. But you had a Deshaun Watson team that was very good. You've had a J.J. Watt. You've had a Andre. You had, Matt Schaub. Some of those teams, I'm still surprised. Some of those Matt Schaub teams didn't make deeper runs than they did, because those were some really, really good football teams. So the Texans, in their short history, have fielded some good teams, yet they still don't have the attention, nowhere close to what the Cowboys get. So keeping that in mind, Dalton Schultz goes on Pat McAfee yesterday and talks about, the differences between Dallas and Houston.
That was one of the first things that kind of stuck out to me. It feels like much more, I don't want to say college because it's not, but like the focus is just football, you know what I mean? And going back and like telling some people how kind of being around the Cowboys practice facility and game day, describing some of the interactions and stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis, surprised a lot of people. They're like, holy crap, like that actually happens like at a practice facility. And, it's just, you think it's normal. And then you come to a place like this.
What? Well, I mean, so
in Dallas, it is normal.
Well, that is the normal in Dallas.
That's the normal.
And if you never played anywhere else, how do you not adapt to the way things are done in Dallas? So you go on McAfee and you bitch and you go, man, Dallas, man, it was just a zoo.
No, dude, it's just like there's people literally going on tours while you're lifting in the weight room, and they've got like a one-way mirror for people to like look at. Like it's literally, it's a zoo, dude. Like, there's people tapping on the glass, like trying to get people's attention as they're doing, power cleans or whatnot. And it's different. And I mean, that's the brand that they've built. That's, that's what Jerry Jones likes. That's the way that they run things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you don't realize like how many eyeballs and how much that can maybe distract from, stuff just in the locker room, being in the facility, until you go somewhere else and you're like, holy crap, like, dude, there's none of that. This is also a really well-run organization in Houston.
There's no doubt it's a well-run organization.
Well, now.
Yeah, yeah. When Bill O'Brien was there, it was a disaster. But look, you know what, going in, just bringing up Dak Prescott. Why does Dak Prescott take the crap that Dak Prescott takes? Because he knows being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, it means more for his career and future than anything else, whether he was a quarterback of the Houston Texans. Dak Prescott will benefit long after he is retired from football, because he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, than if he was quarterback anywhere else. He knows it. He's smart enough, so you put up with the crap because you know it's going to benefit you the rest of your life.
Well, and for Dalton Schultz, you didn't know any different from an NFL standpoint. Now, the way things are run, and, he also talked about the trainers and all that kind of stuff. I do think is something that the Cowboys need to address and look at. Will they? Who knows? But you didn't know any different. And what it sounds to me like, you couldn't adapt to the pressures that came with being a Dallas Cowboy. It's nice to be an anonymous football player in Houston, where the fans show up on Sunday, but the rest of the time they don't know. I used to joke with Matt Schaub, because when we would go down there and cover training camp, I remember one time there was a Walgreens right over by the stadium. And I was in the Walgreens and Matt Schaub was in there. And nobody bothered him because Matt Schaub looked like he should be doing your taxes, not quarterbacking your football
That's true.
team.
He did.
But literally, he's in the Walgreens right by the stadium, and nobody acted like they recognized him or knew who he was. A Dallas Cowboy can't do that.
If Dak Prescott were walking in that Walgreens, he'd be mobbed.
Exactly.
He would be.
And I think there is just a level of, for me, I hear that from Dalton Schultz, man, you couldn't handle being a Dallas Cowboy. And I wonder though, watching this Cowboys team poop the bed again in the playoffs, how many other guys are like Dalton Schultz? They can't handle being a Dallas Cowboy because those lights are bright.
And you got to have thick skin. There's no doubt.
Yep.
And I will give Dak Prescott all the respect in the world because he hears it. I know he hears it. He may say he doesn't. He hears it. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
But yet he still is back. He's still there because he knows that there is no better job in the world than being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, and like Fred I don't see why Schultz said is controversial. NFL Cowboy fans are being oversensitive. I don't think I'm being oversensitive. I'm trying to figure out, okay, you didn't know any better. If you would have come from Houston, and man, they do it so different here. Vice versa, if you knew a different way, like if Brandon Cooks or Stephon Gilmore were to say something like that, as guys that have been in a lot of other organizations, they come to Dallas and say, man, they're doing it wrong here. I mean, you don't know. I mean, Houston, are they doing it right? Are they doing it wrong? They're doing it different, but some of that's just the attention that comes with the two organizations.
And all of that is Jerry Jones.
Yep.
Because people want to be around the Dallas Cowboys.
And
it's because of Jerry Jones.
And when this Don Van Etta book comes out, it's going to be a #1 bestseller.
Of course it will be. That's Jerry Jones. Like him or not, it doesn't matter. He's a businessman, and he has made the Dallas Cowboys the most popular franchise in professional sports, bar none.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio sports star Jane Slater from the NFL Network had an interesting report earlier about the timing of a potential new deal for Dak Prescott. She will join us in about 20 minutes at 4:15 here on the Blitz. 94.1, San Antonio sports star.
Let me tell you about Parkhurst New Vision. It's been just about a year since I had my lens replacement surgery, and boy, I'm still loving life because of the pros at Parkhurst New Vision. I see better now than I've seen in 30 years. My wife, Maggie, just had hers done recently. She is loving life as well. It just changes your life completely. You don't have to worry about going somewhere and, oh, man, I forgot my glasses. You don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. Look, go see Parkhurst New Vision. Talk to them. Let them talk to you and describe, and you'll understand what they do. All you have to do is take that first step and call them, 210-585-2020, or check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. You set up your appointment for a consultation. Go in there. First thing you do, tell them I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz, and then ask your questions and let them tell you what they can do for you, and let them do what they've done for my family. It's incredible. It is life-changing. Call Parkhurst New Vision today, 210-585-2020.
Writing 281. Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
At LL Flooring, we've been a trusted partner to pros for over 30 years. With over 400 nationwide warehouses full of in-stock, job-ready inventory, you'll get what you need. And our exclusive pro pricing means that pros never pay retail. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. So we're going to do it right. Sign up for a free Pro account today to start getting Pro benefits. LL Flooring. Every step covered.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
We're in the studio right now with Jose from the Gomez Law Firm. Online client reviews and testimonials are incredibly important. Joe Gomez Law is the leader when it comes to 5-star reviews.
We encourage people to go online and look at our reviews. There's a lot of attorneys that might not want you to do that, but we encourage you to do that because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable choosing the right attorney. And we assure you, you go to Google and look up our reviews, you're going to be satisfied. I mean, we have almost 1,000 reviews and we're very highly rated.
If anyone from San Antonio or even anyone from Texas is looking for a trusted attorney, the Gomez Law Firm is for you.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your body's own natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk, run, climb stairs, play golf, and move again, pain-free. No pills, no risky surgery. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. So take action now. It's a great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over. And if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in contiguous U.S. and
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs are back in action tonight, but they will be without Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is nursing a sprained ankle. Spurs are in Sacramento to battle the Kings. Tip-off there is set for 9 o'clock. Iron Mike Tyson getting back in the ring at the ripe old age of 57. Tyson's going to face off against Jake Paul in a match at AT&T Stadium on July 20th. Ought to be fun.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Do you know it's spring break?
Oh, well, I didn't know that. No. Is it like all week or next week or what is it?
Well, I mean, depending on what school district you're in, but I think it does start this weekend. But a buddy of mine's texting me now. They're going down to the beach, and and it's like, what's up with this Vegas trip that we've been talking about and trying to figure all that kind of stuff out.
Was he going?
I think so.
Nice.
I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You guys can go too.
Absolutely.
So we're the Blitz is going to Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
It's going to be an incredible weekend. Circa Las Vegas for opening day of Major League Baseball in the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 28th, Friday, March 29th. The Blitz live in Las Vegas. Of course, that Thursday, opening day of Major League Baseball, all 30 teams in action. Greg Maddux, the Hall of Famer, is going to be at Circa. He's going to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Then you got basketball going on both Thursday and Friday. We're going to be out there. If you're going out there, let us know.
Yes.
And we'll grab a drink, play some blackjack, do whatever.
Have a good time.
It's going to be a great time out there in Las Vegas. You can book your room at circalasvegas.com. Now, they've sent us a promo code and a link, and I think we're going to have that available on our social media here pretty soon, because we typed it in earlier and the link works, but the promo code didn't. So I don't want to give the promo code until we know for sure that it's working.
Absolutely.
But there is a 20% discount offer. I just don't know how to get it to you yet. So book your flights. The room, we'll make sure you get it.
It looked pretty cool on their website, right? Come stay with the Blitz or something like that.
You
with
click
Jason
on the
and Joe.
link. It says, come join Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Put our logo up there and everything.
Nice.
Big time.
Big time,
Big
right?
time.
Can't wait to get out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. Those folks out there, you got to see the place. I was blown away by it. It was just an incredible place, and I can't wait to get back out there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It will be your first time staying out there. You have gambled there.
Yes, did well there actually,
and you did well there. But you've never stayed there. I've stayed there. The pool is fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
You couldn't see much, honestly, when you got down to Circa. By the way,
why?
I'm just saying.
I was doing just fine.
You were doing just fine.
A hell of a lot better than those English fellas.
The Brits.
Yes, the Brits were feeling no pain.
Yeah, I don't know. They could barely walk, let alone see. When we got down there, it was kind of late in the.
It was because we were at El Cortez and
no. We started at Resort World at Jerry Jones's party.
Well, that's true.
And when you're drinking for free on Jerry's dime,
they go down a little quicker.
The drinks.
Yes. What'd you think I meant?
I could have been the Wagyu sliders or the lobster rolls that they were serving.
Those went down. Isn't it funny? I have to go to Vegas to Jerry's party to try a lobster roll. Didn't do that. We're in Boston for the Army-Navy game.
That's because you're a cheap SOB.
No, it's not.
In Boston, you had to pay for it.
No.
At Jerry's party, the lady was just walking around and said, "Do you want a lobster roll?" Well, yes, I do.
I'm not a huge lobster fan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I really don't want a lobster. I don't want to pay for a lobster roll that I might not like.
Yes.
So this was just like a mini lobster roll at Jerry's party.
You had 7 of them.
I had 2 of them. I had 7, dude. I didn't have 7 of them,
dude.
Lobster rolls? Now maybe 7 of the Wagyu sliders.
You had more plates in front of you than beer bottles.
That was Schwampy. Schwampy was eating that dude was eating like he hadn't eaten in a month.
Swampy had his own section of dishes to go do when that was over.
It wasn't me. Everybody was piling.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't have 7 lobster rolls.
That's fair, because I'm not keeping track. I just remember looking at you going, damn, for some sure are gobbling those things down.
Dude, I didn't have 7 lobster rolls. I may have had 2.
Yeah.
And that was it, which really equates to 1 because they were mini ones. Mini lobsters.
Rob Thompson at the same party.
Uh-huh.
Sir, would you like a lobster roll? You know, I've always been told you never turn down a lobster roll. Yes, I would. And she comes back by. He's not even done with that one. Wagyu slider. Yep, I'll take one of those. Lobster roll,
good,
sir.
dude.
Yes, I'll take one of those. Need another beverage? I do. Yes.
Yes.
It is fantastic. So it was a great night.
Then
we went to the El Cortez.
Yeah.
Then we made it to Circa.
Well, with some stops along the way. We went into some place that none of us did good. Was that Fremont?
Well, we were on El Cortez is on Fremont, but the casino that was there.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
We didn't do well. We didn't stay long.
It wasn't Four
there.
Queens. What's across from Four Queens?
Dude, I have no idea. First time I'd been downtown in Las Vegas in about 20 years.
Yeah, Joe's one of those. I don't go down there with those people. I'm a strip guy. I don't leave the Bellagio.
Exactly. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, this is Vegas, man. This is awesome. Why have I not done this before? Where's her clothes? Wow, Joe was all over the place.
It was pretty cool. Bands playing down there, and it's all covered. It was really cool, and it was good to see. I enjoyed El Cortez because you had talked about it, so I wanted to see that, and that was cool. And then going in the Circa, it was just incredible. Yeah, dude, I mingle with all kinds, buddy.
You do. Well. There's how do you say this? For those that have gone to Fremont, you'll get this. If not, use your wild imagination. But there are a lot of photo ops available to you on Fremont.
There are.
And there are a lot that you just want no documentation that you were within 20 feet of that.
Uh-huh.
There are others that you would like the photo, but it would get you in trouble, and you've got a better use of $5. But, your eyes are wandering.
$5.
I don't know. What do those people charge to take a picture?
I have no clue and wasn't asking. I'd rather gamble my $5
Well, that's
away.
what I mean. I don't know. I don't know what they charge because, hey, let me take a picture of a couple of girls that aren't wearing much. Right?
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
No,
right?
no.
But I don't know what they charge, but a lot of people do.
Sure.
I mean, that's how they make their living.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, you get a few drinks down you and, hey, woo, come on, baby.
You're still not spending that money.
I didn't.
No, you didn't. No, but you were amazed that could happen.
It was a cool experience. I never, I hadn't been downtown since they put the roof all the way down the street.
Yeah.
And
that was 1988.
Well,
I'm kidding. I don't know when they did
I
that.
think it was sooner than that, but not much sooner or later or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go to the Golden Nugget all the time. They had a hell of a buffet down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they still do. I don't know.
They might. All I know is Circa, they got a great steakhouse there called Barry's.
Yeah.
We're going there on that Friday night for dinner.
Absolutely.
Chip is making the reservations now.
Is he really?
And so he just texted that.
Nice.
His birthday dinner.
Cool.
Yeah. So don't make those Friday night plans.
I'm in.
1995 is the Fremont Street Experience opening.
Okay.
So 30 years it's been since you've been downtown.
Yeah, yeah, it has.
That's crazy.
Been a long time. So, but I was glad that we went to the Circa because it was all as advertised.
Can't wait to get out there. If you guys are going, it's going to be a great weekend to go out there. Baseball, tournament, Blitz.
What else can you ask for?
I mean,
naked women on the streets.
Well, I mean, they got pasties.
Well,
sometimes.
That was cool that there are bands playing out there right on the street. It was awesome.
It's been happening that way for 30 years,
dude,
man.
Who knew?
Oh, everybody that goes downtown.
Well, that's
sometimes sometimes you can leave the Bellagio and realize there's life out there.
I don't know. I got everything I need right there.
You're gonna
just like at Circa.
Yes.
I go downtown. Don't even have to go downtown.
Huh?
I can stay at the Circa and not leave that place.
Well, it's true, but you are downtown when you're at Circa.
Well, I get that. But
yeah.
I don't have to walk outside.
But you can't. You got to walk outside if you want to see the bands that are playing on Fremont.
I could. I bet there's a band or two inside as well.
It's possible.
I'm sure.
Put your earbuds in and you're good to go. You'll hear music.
I just like hearing ding, 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 ding. That's music to my ears.
Jane Slater from the NFL Network joins us next here on The Blitz. You know, the Rue Pub, year after year after year, for over the last decade, they put on the best St. Patrick's Day parties in San Antonio. The St. Patty's Day parties at the Rue are legendary, and this year it will be the biggest St. Patrick's Day party ever. Green beer is going to be flowing with an all-day party with drink specials, live music from 3 different bands on the outdoor stage, DJs and college hoops inside the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant. St. Patrick's Day this year is on a Sunday, March 17th, obviously. Party's going to get started at 11 a.m., and it will be an all-day party. So make your plans now to be at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant on St. Patrick's Day, Sunday, March 17th. Between now and then, if there's a big game, a big fight, there's a big fight this Saturday night. No better place than at the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go to the Roo, go hungry. The food there is fantastic. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you're a pro and flooring is your game, we'll help you win it. Because at LL Flooring, all we do is floors. You want decor? Try. You want plumbing? LL Flooring has been helping pros knock it out of the park for over 30 years. Visit one of our 400 nationwide warehouses for one-on-one service, extensive inventory, and exclusive pro pricing. Get the pro treatment you deserve. Enroll today, online or in-store. LL Flooring, every step covered.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Tonight at 6, it's the Heat and Mavs. The NBA plays right here. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jay Semenix. Don't forget our Spring Golf Classic coming up on March 25th. Golf Club of Texas, brought to you by Flight by Yingling and Sierra Auto Group. After party at the 90 Proof Bar and Grill.
I bet you they have something that's more than 90 proof if you wanted it.
They might, but the bar is called 90 Proof Bar
I
and Grill.
get it. I get it.
Our golf tournament's going to be a great time. Always
That's 100
is.
proof, too.
Always sells out. Get your foursome registered, sasportstar.com. We're damn near sold out as we sit, so don't procrastinate. We are 3 weeks away. Long off season, though, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, as it always seems to be. Lots of interesting Cowboys news, whether it's actual news or news or not. Jane Slater from the NFL Network joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line, always feeding that Cowboys beast. Jane, how's everything going?
Things are good. Yeah, it's I'm really careful about what I put out this time of the year for that very reason. I find that as we consume information and the way it gets decimated is a good word, disseminated on the internet, there's so many aggregators that I feel like don't pay attention to what I'm saying. And I was really careful with some of the content I put out about Dak yesterday. And if you'll notice, I don't really tweet anymore. It's just, I just feel like things just get twisted more than I like.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine, and being in your business and what you do and covering the Dallas Cowboys, it's an adventure to say the least. Now, Jane, I've been reading a lot of stuff, and then hearing you with Dak could possibly be as late as August before anything gets done with him. But nobody really thinks the Cowboys are going to do much in free agency. How do you see them playing the free agent market?
You know, it's interesting. We didn't think they were going to do anything last year. And I remember saying, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. And then they went and surprised us all with Stephon Gilmore. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they went and got Brandon Cooks as well. And so they're moving different in recent years. And I don't know if that is Mike McCarthy or if that is, Stephen Jones having a little bit more say in this. It's hard to determine, but in years past, we've talked about the last big free agent deal they did was Brandon Carr, and it never went well for them. I think they've done a good job in recent. I think we can all agree that Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks were good additions to this team, and it looks like they're going to let Stephon Gilmore hit the free agent market, which is unfortunate. I thought he was a really good guy in the locker room and someone to have around there, and it looks like Jordan Lewis is going to be a free agent. But yeah, they could surprise us, guys. And so I'd love to sit here and say they've given me all this information and here's what they're going to do, but that doesn't help them with negotiations, right? So I think for a long time, people hated that the Cowboys leaked too much. And so they're doing a little bit of a better job of keeping things close to the vest.
The Cowboys offseason is always interesting. And this year, Jane Slater, it feels, I don't know, a little bit more raw, just the way the season ended with the clear path with what most of us felt like was a legit Super Bowl contending roster. And for them to go out the way they did against Green Bay, it's just left such a raw feeling for so many Cowboy fans. You take that emotion out, which I know is tough to do, but if you do, is this offseason really that any different from any other Cowboy offseason the last 20 plus years?
No, and sometimes I feel like it's Groundhog Day, particularly as it relates to this Dak Prescott extension. I mean, how many different ways have we done this? It's interesting. I got a text message last night that from someone inside the building. It's like, Dak could gamble on himself again. And I thought that was interesting because, Dak has done it, not dissimilar from what Kirk Cousins has done, and it's served Kirk well. They could essentially, I said that they, don't expect a deal until closer to August. I'm not saying that's when it's going to happen, but what I'm trying to say is this thing's not going to get done here in free agency, or for that matter, I don't think it's going to get done before the draft, just reading the tea leaves. Of course, sometimes I feel like when I say these things, the minute I speak it into the ether, I'm proven wrong. But they could always convert his salary and basically into cash money, and then that would free things up for them. I think $18 million if they did that. I mean, who wouldn't want $18 million, right off the bat? So they technically wouldn't have to restructure his deal in order to get some fun money to go spending. We've seen them do that with Zach Martin and guys like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing, plays out. Todd France, he and I have not had the best relationship over the years. He doesn't really negotiate things in the media. I reached out to him yesterday because, the report that I put out was that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott's agent have had no conversations. And, I was just doing my due diligence, and I've been off the beat a little bit after, my mom passed away sadly. And so I was just getting back to work. And so I expected to hear, we've had a few conversations, but no, nothing at all. And I said, are you saying that because there have been discussions, but nothing meaningful to discuss? And nope, not one discussion yet. And the reason why I didn't want to tweet that out or make that a big deal is it's not dissimilar from how this thing went last time. So, they're both negotiating a little bit. Jerry will, throw out some of those little missives in the media like he did, where it's like, we don't have to get a deal done, and there's a lot of things that Dak needs to do better. And then Dak is, being Dak and saying that he expects the deal to get done. And the one thing about Dak, and I've got a good relationship with him, he doesn't leak stuff. He's not like some of these other players that you might talk to or they want a little push in the media, or sometimes they'll have you throw out that they're, talking to other teams. That's just how this thing works. It's no different than, when it looks like someone's getting courted, you'll want them. But Dak's never played that game. And to his credit, Todd France has always gone and gotten him exactly what he wanted. I mean, the big holdup last time was, I think it was right after the Patrick Mahomes deal, right? And everyone was scoffing at $40 million a year. And I took some hits because everyone interpreted that. And that's where I learned my lesson about tweeting stuff. Well, Dak thinks he deserves Patrick Mahomes' money. That's not what I said. He thinks he deserves what the market bears. And at the time, that was $40 million. Patrick Mahomes, remember, it was just, oh my God. I mean, I remember when people freaked out about Tony Romo's contract just being $50 million. I mean, now we're up in the 265, 160s, et cetera. And so I just, I think that you shouldn't be shocked if it's $60 million a year, but I think the Cowboys have to ask themselves, granted, he's only, I think, 31 years old, 30. He's had, with the exception of 2 seasons, he's been very durable, but they just keep looking at that 2-5 postseason record. And unfortunately, I think what's muddied the waters is the 2 interceptions against Green Bay. That's what's made things, I think, that the Cowboys find themselves going, And then if this is Mike McCarthy's last year, I will tell you, it's been really interesting to watch their relationship evolve. Dak and Mike have become very, very close. And I think that happens with age. And we saw it with Tony Romo and Jason Garrett. And, once Dak was the young rookie and he had a lot in common with the guys, well, now he's a family man. Now and I think he goes to Mike sometimes because Mike is, a very good family man, puts his family in high esteem. They have this really close relationship, but are the Cowboys also thinking to themselves, if it's a Mike McCarthy prove it year, do we just reset this whole thing if this thing doesn't work out? And we've seen them do this before. They dangled the carrot with Des Bryant back in the day. And then they've also proven to us in recent years, they're not getting emotionally invested. I mean, Tyron, free agent. Zeke, you're cut. So it's hard to say exactly how they're moving right now. And I get so frustrated with fans, like, well, you've told us nothing. All I can tell you is what I know. All I can tell you is ask the question in context. I can give you some background, but they're not going to tell me exactly how they're moving. That's just not how this thing works.
Well, Jane, I'm curious. You brought up Mike McCarthy. He's, I guess, for lack of a better word, a lame duck coach this year. Mike Zimmer signs a 1-year contract. And I'm not sure exactly why he did that. But what do you make of this whole situation? Do you think it's, and I don't know if fair is the right word. We're talking about professional sports. But do you think it's fair to kind of leave McCarthy out there on a limb and say, you gotta make it happen this year or you're done?
Yeah, I think it's tough because, I remember those 8-8 seasons, and I think people forget some of those. I mean, this is a team, with the exception of COVID, and COVID was challenging for him to, after a year off, come back in the building. But I think he's done a really good job of getting this team to play the way that they have. His offense took a little time to get going last year, and I don't know if this is the front office's fault or if this is Mike's, but we knew without Zeke, you're asking a guy like Tony Pollard, who's a lot smaller than him and is definitely not a Zeke, to continue his efficiency and productivity without what? There wasn't really a change of pace back behind him. They even tried to sell it as, well, each one of these guys does something different. I'm like, it felt like the wide receiver by committee year when they went and had to go get Amari Cooper because it wasn't working. So I don't know if they didn't run the damn ball because they didn't have the personnel, or if Mike just, Mike has joked with us before in the past that, he likes to throw the ball around. And when it's working, don't fix what's not broke. So, yeah, they're definitely going to address the running back situation. And, I think they've obviously got to figure out the linebacker situation. And if I'm Mike, I would be a little frustrated with the way things go in Dallas. I've always said Dallas is like the golden handcuffs, right? And Dalton Schultz kind of spoke about this. And, all the Cowboys fans are up in arms. And, Dalton and I haven't had the best relationship over the years either. But I will say this. I didn't see anything wrong with the statement. And if you notice Ed Werder, when we're literally working in, the media room of the podium, or, the coaches at the podium, that's exactly what's happening. And we've joked that it felt like a zoo because they are kind of like tapping on the windows and stuff. And, I saw some people come out and say, oh, I don't ever see him by the weight room. That's not true. It may not be during like normal hours, but when they're doing those like 4:00 and whatnot, they are back there. And so we've always talked about an element of that. Is it a distraction? I don't know. I think you sort of know what you're getting with the Dallas Cowboys, but I do want to defend Dalton here a little bit. He's not wrong.
Well,
and it is so different in other places.
Well, that's it. Jane, as we visit with Jane Slater from the NFL Network, and we were talking about Dalton Schultz's comments earlier today, and my only issue with him saying it the way he said it is he didn't know anything different. He was drafted to the Cowboys. So if Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cook said, man, I've been in all these places and I come here, man, this is a zoo. Dalton didn't know any different when he was with the Cowboys. And it tells me that he just couldn't adapt to the Cowboy way, the anonymity that comes with being with Houston. No disrespect to the Texans, but the attention they get compared to the Cowboys is there's an extreme difference there. But also knowing Dalton didn't have the greatest relationship with a lot of the media and other people. He blocks everybody on Twitter that says a negative thing. Is it Dalton would rather not be in a spotlight team and he thrives better without that glaring light on him?
Well, I actually didn't take his comments that way. I think he was just asked about the difference between the two. And I looked at it actually conversely from how you did. He went to another organization, and it is interesting. When I joined the NFL Network, all I'd ever known is the Cowboys, because that's who I'd covered most when I worked locally and even in Tyler. But, when I joined the NFL Network, I do cover other teams, and it is so different, guys. It is night and day. And even some of the beat reporters in Dallas that don't go, to other training facilities during the week, et cetera, they don't even know. Calvin Watkins and I talked about it because Calvin ended up in New York for a while. It is very, very different. And I don't think that Dalton was necessarily like bashing the Cowboys, but I think he was pointing out like it is very, very different there. And you can ask any player, and it's a double-edged sword, right? Like when Orlando Scandrick went to Washington, he talked about, these conditions, the training table, the weight room. very different. I mean, you just saw pictures that came out of Kansas City who got like D's when asked about, ownership and things. I mean, their locker room is worse than Lake Travis's. And so it's just so different. I mean, I remember Valley Ranch, and, of course, Valley Ranch was nothing like what they got at the Star in Frisco.
Sure.
But, everyone knows that about Jerry. And like I said, double-edged sword. The spotlight can shine really, really bright, but you also get those flashy deals in the podcast. And when you're done playing, you're one of the first in line to go get one of those flashy, jobs in the booth. And so I think this is the thing with all-season news. And no disrespect to you guys, love you guys, but every radio show, because I used to do this in the off-season, you are looking for something to talk about. And I think sometimes this minutia turns into something that it shouldn't be.
Well,
Fair.
Yeah,
You gotta feed the
that's
beast,
fair.
right? Yep.
Absolutely,
Yep,
it's
content.
And not that you know anything, Jane, but just your gut. You think Dak gets his extension, or you think he plays as is this next year?
Man, all I would say about this is it's not like franchise quarterbacks grow on trees. And I just feel like they've gotten so close if they can just put some better pieces around Dak. But they haven't really shown us that they've gone all in on putting some of these like pieces around them. Now you can say, well, look at Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have anything. Patrick Mahomes is a different type of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he is an anomaly. But I think for fans and for Jerry, and, maybe it is good if they both go into a prove-it year. I tend to think that both Mike and Dak do a lot better when their backs are against the wall and people are doubting them. Like, for whatever reason, it was kind of like when you listened to Jason Kelsey the other day, what he said, my dad always said, if you want to see me do something, tell me I can't. Doubt me. He wishes that more people doubted him. And I just, I wonder, we saw Dak when he came back from the injury, the way that he played. And so there's part of me sometimes, there are certain people like this. They want you to doubt them. It's fuel for them. And I wonder if Dak motivates himself here and says, you know what? I am going to gamble on myself. Because he's done it before, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. But now he's got a baby girl, and those could be expensive. So we might need that security.
Right. But I do think the Cowboys, I think he wants to be a Cowboy, and I think the Cowboys want to keep him in Dallas. But I also think he doesn't want to be disrespected. And when people say, well, you should give a hometown discount like to Patrick Mahomes. Well, Patrick Mahomes got really paid. But also, talk to plenty of players, et cetera, out there. How many players have taken hometown discounts over the years and seen the front office wisely use that money to go get them the pieces that they need? And so people are going to hate on him. It's going to become a money thing. But I would just argue to a bunch of folks, imagine going to your job, Jason, and saying, Jason, I think you should get less than what you deserve after all the years in the business, because we want this station to be number one in ratings. And it'll translate into more ads, and you'll see the money, but I can't tell you that the money's coming. That's what it is with Dak. And so I see his point of view on this.
Yeah, we're not going to look down. You're already number one. But we're good, man. I don't need a pay cut. I'm with you. And look, nobody out there would take a pay cut or give a discount. No, nobody would in your job. When you're negotiating, that's the time to go get everything that you possibly can. That's what you do. And Dak has all the leverage.
Guys think about it. At his age, this is probably his last big contract, right? So I think there has to be some attention to that. And then I think the other thing is, Dak truly is everything you could want in a franchise guy. I mean, you talk about, I've seen them use this argument before. Well, if you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you get the Oikos yogurt, you get the sleep number. It's fair, but you also don't get a lot of those deals if you're the Cowboys, if you don't have someone like Dak Prescott. I mean, you put Dak Prescott out there, he's the belle of the ball. He doesn't get in trouble. He does things the right way. He's a good leader. He talks well on camera. He has never once been a problem for you. Not once. And I think you're really gambling sometimes with some of these quarterbacks out there. And again, look at his numbers, look at his yards. I think it's very, very frustrating to fans, but I said this on air the other day. I am old. I am young enough to remember the Quincy Carter years
Mm-hmm.
and the Tony Romo 8-8 seasons. So that's all. And everyone's like, well, that's not an excuse for not going out and getting a quarter. I'm like, sure, go gamble. But I think you got it pretty good with Dak. So why blow the whole thing up?
Well, and I think Jerry remembers. I don't know if Jerry could actually name all the quarterbacks that started for him between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo.
I don't think anybody can.
There's so many. I mean, Brandon Whedon, Drew Henson, Drew Bledsoe. Who am I missing?
Clint Sterner, Anthony Wright.
Clint Sterner, Arkansas guy, right?
Yeah. Now doing radio down in Houston. Lost his gig so he could be replaced by an undrafted free agent named Tony Romo.
McCowan, one of the McCowan brothers was here.
Yeah. Randall Cunningham. You say Chad Henson?
Yep.
Yeah. Drew Bledsoe was there.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't say Chad. There was Drew Henson too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Vinny Testaverde.
Wow. Yeah, Vinny. Yeah. Yeah.
The list is long.
I did this one time with that win if he could name all the quarterbacks, and I don't think he could. We had Dave Campo on the other day. He actually could remember all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
I mean, I think in what we're illustrating is the perfect point to wrap this up, guys, because I know I've been
Ryan Leaf. We forgot that guy. Yeah.
Ryan Leaf. Remember that one. But the point is look at the continuity you've had in Dallas at quarterback since Dak got here in 2016. And then really your continuity with your backup quarterback in Cooper Rush. And it'll be interesting to see. I think he's got a 2-year deal, so I don't think he's a free agent this season. I got to double check my notes. But you've had continuity. It's just, I know this culture problem thing has been popping up, and I've tried to stay away from this one too, because winning cures everything. And, when they lose the way that they did, there were, again, some problems on the defensive side of the ball. And I do think Mike Zimmer is going to come and clean some of that up. That's all I'll say about it.
Good enough.
Going to be fun.
Jane Slater from the NFL Network. Make sure you're following her on Twitter, although she's not tweeting much right now, @Slater NFL. But we know when news is happening, you're the go-to. Jane, always appreciate the time.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great night.
Great stuff. Jane Slater from the NFL Network on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Now people are texting in. Stephen McGee was there. Well, we'll try to name them all.
Wow.
Next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A little bit later on in the show, in just over an hour, we're giving away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. We call it Grilling with the Blitz, where you tell you to submit photos of what's been on your grill. Does say sportstar.com. We judge meat. We give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market because before you fire up that grill, you need to get into Tri-County Meat Market because that great meal starts with great meat. And Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and so much more. They're even making their own bacon now. Thick cut bacon. I've tried it. It is fantastic. Get the bacon over there at Tri-County Meat Market. They have what you need with the quality you expect, and you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations, on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs do it? Do they stand atop the mountaintops? Did 121 happen? We're looking back at the Kings game.
Plus, legendary pitcher Roger Clemens joins us to talk all things baseball and who knows whatever else. And it's Oscars weekend. We're talking about it Morning Huddle style.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older, or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's San Antonio area attorneys. Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob Thompson and RJ Ochoa.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, we're getting you ready for the Academy Awards. Who's walking the red carpet? What movies did we see? And we're offering our own awards. We're also going to talk Dallas Cowboys and their culture. You want to talk about culture? That's Jason and Joe. There's no better culture than the afternoon show. They get to go to Vegas. We get to stay home. Back to the Blitz.
He doesn't sound bitter at all, does he? Not at all. But you know what Rob gets to do? He gets to go to our SA Sports Star Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas. He can do that. It's Monday, March 25th. It's coming up. And if you are thinking about getting in, you need to get in because we're just about sold out. It is $400 for a group of $4, $120 for one player. You've got a shot at $50,000. You also got a shot at a trip to Big Auto Group. After the round, we're going to have an after party. We always do. This one, though, is going to be at 90 Proof Bar and Grill right there in the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, just about 10 minutes from the Golf Club of Texas. So don't wait. Go to sasportstar.com and sign up for our spring golf classic at the Golf Club of Texas. You will regret it if you do not do that. I promise you. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is right there. And this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Interesting, before we went to the break, we were talking about Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks and the list of lengthy names that there are between Troy Aikman and a Dak Prescott, even a Tony Romo for that matter. And when you start looking at this list, and I wonder if anybody could name them all, because obviously the Cowboys have been very fortunate. When you're talking about Roger Staubach, and then you had guys like Danny White, who to me is a very underrated Dallas Cowboys quarterback. And then, of course, Troy Aikman, who comes in and takes the Cowboys to the promised land 3 times. So Troy Aikman, the last one to get that done. But after Troy Aikman, can you name them all? Can you name them all? It is an incredible list of names, and some, quite frankly, I couldn't do it. I'm sitting here looking at the list, and there's no way that I could do it because all the names that we left out. When you're talking about Troy Aikman in 2000, towards the end of the Troy Aikman era, if you will, Randall Cunningham came in, Anthony Wright came in, but then after that, remember the Cowboys drafted Quincy Carter, and he didn't work out at all. Anthony Wright was still there, but then Ryan Leaf came in. It was right there at the end of a very bad period of time for Ryan Leaf. The guy's doing great things now, but it was a bad period of time for him then. Clint Sterner also came in 2001. But some of these names, Chad Hutchinson, remember him? Vinny Testaverde was here. Drew Henson was here. Drew Bledsoe. Remember Drew Bledsoe? My goodness. And then Tony Romo came in, but they also had Brad Johnson for a time as a backup quarterback to Tony Romo. John Kitna. Remember John Kitna, who went on to be a coach for the Cowboys for a little bit. But then I know Aggie fans remember this name, Stephen McGee. Yeah, Stephen McGee was here. The list is incredible. Romo handled 11, 12, and then 13, but Kyle Orton was here at that time as well in 2013. You move on to 2014, Tony Romo's still the guy, but Brandon Weeden. Anybody remember Brandon Weeden? Am I surprising anybody with these? Because I'm telling you, I'm surprising myself with some of these names that I've just flat out forgot about. Matt Castle was with the Dallas Cowboys for a year. Kellen Moore, of course, was. And that was the year 2015 when not only Tony Romo got hurt, but then Kellen Moore got hurt. And that set up the takeover, if you will, by Dak Prescott in 2016. And he has been the guy. But remember, Andy Dalton was here for a time in 2020. Garrett Gilbert, former Texas Longhorn and SMU quarterback, was here for a time. But it's been Dak. Do any of those names surprise any of you? Because quite frankly, I forgot about a bunch of these guys, especially when you're talking about a Drew Bledsoe, you're talking about a Stephen McGee who was here, and the list of quarterbacks was long. But obviously, Dak Prescott has come in and kind of righted the ship, if you will, and been the guy. In the last 3 years, he's been healthy. I mean, he has, and he's played well. Obviously, 3 12-win seasons in a row. He was hurt in 2022 for 5 games, and Cooper Rush came in and did a great job going 4-1 during that period of time. But some of these, Matt Castle, anybody remember Matt Castle being here? Of course, he was with the Patriots for a while. So John Kitna, I'd forgotten about him. This would be a great on-the-spot contest. Not that you could go in and look at Twitter or the internet, Wikipedia, wherever you're looking. But if we were at, say, the Roo Pub and having a contest, and whoever got the most would win a prize, I think you'd be surprised at how many of these guys we'd leave out. Bernie Kosar, Rodney Peete was here for a while. My gosh, it's the list is it's long, but it's certainly distinguished. That's for sure. I forgot about a bunch of these guys the Cowboys have had. So, my goodness, Pledge, do you remember half of these guys?
Yeah, I remember all of them.
You remember all of them?
Yeah. It's Drew Henson was famously, the Michigan quarterback that came in, and he was the guy that replaced Tom Brady, who was supposed to be the, that 5-star, the next guy. He was supposed to be what Brady turned into.
Yeah. Well, he obviously didn't do that. Gary Hogaboom, remember him? My goodness, there's some guys here. You go back and it's fun to go back and look at some of the history, and even going back as far as when the Cowboys first started. Eddie LeBaron was a quarterback for the Cowboys before Don Meredith took over. Eddie LeBaron.
Come on, you gotta say his name right.
Eddie LeBaron.
No.
Say it again. Well, what is it?
It's Dandy Don Meredith.
Oh, okay, Dandy. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Those were the good old days of Monday Night Football, right? With Dandy Don and Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford.
Howard Cosell.
Wow.
Legend.
Yeah. And then Craig Morton. Remember Craig? I think another underrated guy, if you will. But Danny White's probably, if I'm looking at this list, and everybody that quarterback for the Cowboys, I think Danny White is the most underrated guy. Think about this. From 1980 to 1983, 4 seasons. Danny White's record, 12-4 in 1980, 11-4 in 1981. He was 6-3 in 1982. Obviously, he got hurt then, I suppose. But in 1983, he comes back with a 12-4 season.
Sounds a lot like somebody else.
Right? I mean, so you talk about underrated. Danny White was certainly that guy. Never got the credit he deserved, obviously, because he followed up Roger Staubach, who is a Cowboys legend. But Danny White never got that respect that he deserved. Here's one you forgot. I promise you. Kevin Sweeney. Remember the heyday of the Dallas Cowboys with Kevin Sweeney? Yeah, neither do I. That was back in 1987. Danny White, Steve Pelleur, and then Kevin Sweeney were all here. Obviously, Sweeney was a backup, never did very well. It says in 1987, he came in for 2 games and went 2-0. But then the next year came in for a couple of games and was 0-2. Steve Walsh, who was another guy, really made his bones with the 49ers more so than the Cowboys, but he was a quarterback there for a while, but then came in to back up Troy Aikman in 1989. Babe Laufenberg. And I know everybody remembers Babe Laufenberg because he does the Cowboy broadcast now. Steve Berline. It's just incredible, the names. And I remember Bernie Kosar in a Cowboy uniform. Just nuts when you think about it, quite frankly, of all the quarterbacks that have been there since. Troy Aikman led the Cowboys to 3 Super Bowl championships in the mid-90s. And then they just never could get it right. Never could get it right until Tony Romo kind of righted the ship for a long time. And now Dak Prescott has done the same. But Garrett Gilbert, I forgot that he made a step. And a lot of people thought, hey, this might be the guy. He could come in and take over and be the quarterback, but it just didn't work out for him.
Well, he was the heir apparent to Colt McCoy at the University of Texas. He was supposed to be the next after Vince Young, Colt McCoy. Garrett Gilbert, he was the Gatorade National High School Football Player of the Year, 5-star recruit.
And then got out of there and went to SMU and did fairly well there. Ben DiNucci, he had his moment in the Cowboys, son. So I don't know. Those surprise me. We're going to keep that in our back pocket because that's going to be a contest. But it's got to be one of those that's just off the cuff that you're not expecting. You got no access to your phone or a computer or anything like that. And I'd be really surprised to see how many of you, even the most diehard Cowboy fan, what you could do with that list and how many you could name. Because, boy, there's a lot of names on there that really, really surprised me. Hey, the General John McClain is going to join us coming up here about 5:15, and we're going to talk to him about Dalton Schultz comments. And I'll be curious to see what the general has to say about that and how he took those comments. Obviously, if you haven't heard them, I know a lot of you have, but just talking about the difference between, I guess, the culture, for lack of a better word, between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys and what he saw. So talk in about 15 minutes or so, or 20 minutes or so, something like that. When we come back, we'll get Minix back in here. He's been on the phone. I don't know what he's doing, ordering a pizza or something. Who knows what Minix is doing, but we'll get him back in here. And again, get ready for the General, John McClain, when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm dealing with bank fraud on my account. Good Lord.
Really?
You get an alert like that.
Yeah, that's great. Did you get it fixed?
Yeah, I think so.
So that amount of money that I was trying to take out of your account's not coming?
No.
Damn it.
No. It's a large amount, too. It's like,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas. I needed it.
Yeah, that's what you did. My goodness. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by two words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your fucking stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Frost Bank Center Friday, March 8th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Progressive asks, what do a slow Friday night, bored teenage boys,
I'm bored.
a pack of fireworks,
This is gonna be awesome.
and a teetering branch suspended over your car have in common?
Look out!
They can quickly wreak havoc on your slow Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Now, during Staples Print Pig Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson, and this is 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are back in action tonight, but will be without Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is nursing a sprained ankle. Spurs, they're in Sacramento tonight to battle the Kings. Tip-off out west is set for 9 o'clock. Iron Mike Tyson getting back in the ring at the ripe old age of 57. He's going to face off against Jake Paul at Jerry World. This is coming up on July 20th.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
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 That Jimbo howdy is a good one.
Howdy. Howdy.
Yeah, that one's a little howdy doody-ish. Mike Elko.
Give him time.
I guess.
Give him time.
Come on, Elko. Do better.
You know, it's kind of like quarterbacks for the Cowboys.
Dude.
You know, I had to step away. I mean, we've all gone through something like this. You get an alert from your bank that somebody is writing a large amount of money against your account, and you go, holy. So I get an email, and I'm like, well, this is odd. You know, wonder what, you know, but I'm looking at it. It looks like it's from USAA.
Legit, yeah.
So I opened the account on my app just to check to make sure all the money's that's supposed to be there, or this ridiculous check wasn't actually charged against my account. And when you open it up, you know, in the inbox there, you get the alert. Hey, you got an unread. I read that, and now it's on my app too.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, this is real. Uh-oh. And you call them. Now, there is nothing more frustrating in the world than the automated phone system.
I agree with that.
Right? Those suck no matter what.
Yes.
Real person, right? At what point, you know, you do this, you do that, real bear. What do you need to talk to? All right, what do you need to talk to? But if it's a fraud alert number, why don't they have a real number with somebody that can answer the phone?
Yeah, they should. On fraud.
On fraud.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering if this is some sort of fraud, because, you know, the number that I called was apparently for the credit card. I needed the checking account. You got to transfer me to somebody else.
Wow.
And then you got to go through and verify all your information again. Now, again, this is, you know, they alerted me like, hey, if this isn't you, call this number.
Absolutely.
But deal with phone system hell in the meantime. Whoever invented phone trees should be, I'm sure it's a great invention, and that guy's really rich, sailing around the world on his yacht.
Probably worried about somebody trying to hack his account.
Probably. But man, 2 middle fingers to that guy. I mean, honestly, it took 23 minutes to call in about this, and I talked to somebody for 3. The rest of it, you're dealing with phone system hell on fraud. Like if other stuff, sure, USAA or whatever bank is this USAA. I'm a proud USAA member, but you know, have real people answering the fraud alert phone number thing.
Ain't happening, Minix. You got it taken care of, though, right?
Well,
everybody's alerted.
Everybody's been alerted.
That's the main thing.
Everybody's been alerted. And then the laugh, you think that much? Yeah, buddy, I'm writing checks like that. I mean, you know,
so it would have bounced anyway.
Well, I mean, you know, my great uncle, the Haitian prince, you know, he's wonderful. What the hell?
Wow. Woo.
I mean, but man, nothing pisses you off more. Nothing pisses me off more than a phone tree.
Yeah,
you
it
can be in a
sucks.
great mood until I gotta press one. Are you sure? Speak now. What did you say? Yes. I mean, how much clearer? I talk for a living. How much clearer can I say yes? I didn't get that. Is that yes or no? Yes.
Holy cow.
Sorry, I'm a little pissy now.
That's all right. Be pissy. You're good.
Nothing pisses me off next than the list of Cowboy quarterbacks that you can't go through.
Well, sure, but we did, and I tell you what, I was shocked. And again, we got to have a contest. People are gonna have to put their phones down, no computers, at a location somewhere, and I just want whoever gets the most wins something.
We might have to do that one day.
Yes, we need to, because I was shocked. I was telling Pledge, yeah, I forgot some of these guys. I mean,
Well, that's not a surprise.
Well, I mean, seriously, you remember all of these guys? There's no way you remember all of them.
I remember most of them.
Okay, most of them is not all of them.
No. Well, here's the thing, because we used to play this game with that win, and we did it not long ago with Dave Campo. There's always a couple that you kind of forget about. And those are the ones that started games, let alone those that actually made the team.
Well, in those, all of them listed here, or at least most of them, at least played.
Yes.
They have a record. Like Steve Walsh. You remember Steve Walsh?
Of course, number 4.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, San Francisco guy.
Was he 3 or 4?
He was 4.
Was he 4?
He was
4.
the original 4 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, well, I'm sure there might have been a 4 before him.
There might have been.
There might have been.
And then I'm sitting here going through this. Oh, yeah, Babe Laufenberg.
Well, of course.
Well, yeah, but I mean.
You don't remember that one year he had was the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys?
I do. And I certainly remember the Bernie Kosar era.
Oh, of course, Bernie was great.
Rodney Peete?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Randall Cunningham played for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he did. All of these guys you can see coming off of kind of their last hurrah with and I was giving Danny White a lot of props. Probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in Cowboy history.
Well, and I think that is part of the issue that you have with a Tony Romo, or even to this point, a Dak Prescott. Roger won Super Bowls. Troy won Super Bowls. Danny White does have a Super Bowl ring. He was the punter on that Super Bowl 12 team, right?
He was.
But he went to 3 NFC championship games. He never won. And people talk about Danny White like he was trash. And
wouldn't it be nice to go to 3 NFC championship games?
You know, it would be. I mean, you look at a guy like a Jim Kelly, goes to 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, lost them all.
Never won one. And it wasn't until years later that people actually appreciated what they actually accomplished and how tough that was, even though that group has never won a Super Bowl ring.
I'll take you back even farther than that.
Go
Fran
Vikings.
Tarkenton,
Yes.
4 Super Bowls and lost them all.
Yeah, and so when you look at the pressure, you know, like Fran, highly regarded, Dan Marino, highly regarded, you know, Jim Kelly, highly regarded Hall of Famer, you know, those other organizations, they're just looked at differently than the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know, if you're the quarterback of the Cowboys and you don't hoist a Lombardi trophy, even though only 2 quarterbacks have actually ever done that, you're trash. You were a bust. You were awful. And you look at Danny White, his career should be celebrated. There are a lot of quarterbacks that would love to have the career that Danny White had as a player. But no, I mean, he won't get that credit. You look at, you know, all these other teams that had really good players, really good teams, you know, and you know, they're not celebrated the same way, or the Cowboys fans wouldn't celebrate the same way that, you know, a Dante Culpepper got celebrated in Minnesota, even though he never won anything. But
good guy, right? It's just there's such a different level of expectation, fair or not, that comes with being a quarterback of the Cowboys.
Would you want to have it any other way, though? Honestly, as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, you wouldn't want to have it any other way.
No.
Cowboy fans are arrogant, and I mean that respectfully, because you should be. And that's because that's the way they've made it. And when they don't live up to expectations, you get upset. And I think that's awesome. And that's the way you should be.
And it goes back so much further than Jerry Jones.
Yes.
You go to Tex Schramm, who created the Cowboys, and NFL Films dubbing them America's team. That wasn't the Cowboys that gave themselves the nickname. It came from NFL Films. But Tex Schramm created the popularity, saying, you know what, why are we going to be a regional team? We're going to be a national brand. And that's what they did, and again, Tony Romo never won a Super Bowl.
Nope.
Or got to an NFC championship game. Dak, 2-5. Other quarterbacks for their franchises, 12 regular season wins a whole bunch of years in a row and out early. That's good enough. It's kind of like here in San Antonio. How long was it, and we can't wait to get back to those days. Oh, man, I'm not going to a playoff game. I'll wait till the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals, because getting to the Western Conference Finals wasn't good enough in San Antonio for a good stretch of time. People like Portland, man, they made it to the second round. They celebrated.
Absolutely. But expectations and fan bases should have that expectation. They should hold franchises' feet to the fire, because that's what you want. And when you've got a historic team like the Dallas Cowboys, and even the San Antonio Spurs, for that matter, with the dynasty that they were, you have to have those expectations, and you don't apologize for it. And that's why it irritates me when I hear, well, just let's follow the process. No. I'm tired of following the process. I want to win.
Yes.
So get it done.
Yeah. A team that's following a process is down in Houston, the Texans. Let's talk about it with John McClain from HoustonTexans.com. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. They do fantastic work. Put a couple extra outlets in the garage because the builder never puts enough in there. A spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, they have the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So at the office, if you need some things done, extra USB outlets, you need to move some lights, they've got you covered. Same at the house. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Presented by Sierra Auto Group. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill on the corner of Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch, 10 minutes from Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Last week after the show, a gentleman contacted Gigi and wants her to do some voiceover work at a barbecue restaurant at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I said, Gigi, you're not going to go meet a stranger at 2 o'clock at a barbecue place.
I think it's fine.
No, it's not.
He is going to feed her, and she is going to show up. I know her.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
This year, wouldn't it be great to stop dealing with thin, brittle, shedding hair and instead have the thick, healthy, gorgeous hair you've always wanted? Well, now you can by using Hair Volume from New Nordic. Hair Volume is the all-natural solution trusted by millions of women around the world to say goodbye to thin, brittle, shedding hair. Look for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens and CVS or online at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. Go to NewNordicUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens or CVS.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it, between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up, that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob Thompson and RJ Ochoa.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, we're getting into whether or not the San Antonio Spurs made NBA history on Thursday night against the Kings. Joe, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are going to get into the ring. Who do you want to fight?
I would not want to fight Mike Tyson even if he's 57.
Well, you wouldn't want to fight Jake Paul either, would you?
That's true, but I'm more scared of Mike Tyson because
he's crazy.
Well, there's that, but there's also something called old man strength. One that knows about that, the great John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line here on the Blitz. John, how's your Thursday?
Fine. I don't know anything about that, Jason, because there's pills for that.
Well said.
Yes, sir.
Well said. John, Dalton Schultz goes down to Houston, plays a year, gets a 3-year, $36 million deal, then goes on Pat McAfee. I wasn't, as a Cowboy fan, not overly offended by what he had to say because it is true. But do you find it odd that Dalton would talk about the differences between the Cowboys and the Texans the way he did?
Well, I assumed he was asked about it. He was asked about it. You're not going to dodge it. And all he talked about that I saw was just the fact about the fans get tours in there. But as someone who's been there when the fans are getting tours, they don't get in the way of the players. They keep them away from them. And I don't think the fans getting tours has anything to do with the Cowboys can't win more than one playoff game at the maximum. And I think that's pretty preposterous. But the fact, did he call the Cowboys a zoo?
Yeah.
Or did McAfee? He did. It was a zoo there.
Yeah.
Well, his definition of a zoo is that they give tours. And I've been on those tours, and they're not disruptive at all. In fact, I was on one time when players were working out, and it was a VIP tour, and I saw a group of about 20, and they were looking around. They were dazzled, and they were mesmerized because they could see players. And as I came around the corner, I turned where they couldn't see it and looked like I was talking to somebody in the other direction. And I said, "Troy, thank you very much for the autographed jersey." And I walked right toward them, and they just left their tour guide, came running down toward me because they thought Troy Aikman was back there. And I got such a kick out of it when they got there and there was nobody. I kind of like that atmosphere because it keeps you, if your players should keep you on your toes. And more power to Dalton Schultz. He's been really good down there. Much better blocker than he did in Dallas. And so, you know what? We'll ask him about it before they play next season at AT&T Stadium. I'm still holding out hope it'll be on Thanksgiving, Battle for Texas. And that would be a great thing for the state. And I think it'd be a good thing for the NFL as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Back to Dalton Schultz, though, John. Basically the same contract that he was offered in Dallas before he left there. So I think the Texans got a hell of a deal, quite frankly. I mean, he bet on himself. He got the franchise tag. He made some money. I don't feel sorry for him, but to get him for the same deal that he was offered in Dallas, I think it's a pretty good deal for Houston.
Keep him from hitting the market just to see if anybody else would offer more. I think he's comfortable with his money. He likes playing with C.J. Stroud. He's one of Stroud's favorite receivers, especially in clutch situations, because if it's like 3rd and 8, he knows Schultz will be at 9 yards. If it's 3rd and 12, he'll be at 13. He won't be one of those guys that catches a 3rd and 9 on the 7, then hopes he can get across the 9 to get the first down. So he was very dependable and reliable, and they liked him a lot. And Stroud liked him a lot. So Stroud's got Schultz back at tight end. They got 2 others behind him. Then they have Nico Collins and Tank Dell. And I see a lot of people having them take a wide receiver and offensive tackle in the first round. I'm saying, are you not paying attention to what's going on here? They're not going to take a receiver in the first round. They got Tank Dell, Nico Collins in the 3rd, and they're not going to take an offensive tackle because their tackles are set. They're going defense and more defense. And in my story I wrote yesterday for HoustonTexans.com, where I've written about 5 stories, about to write another one tomorrow, it was all about why they're going defense, and more defense, because when you play Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, and Caleb Williams, who'll be in Chicago, you better beef up your defense. And that's why every mock draft I do, I'm going to have them starting in the defensive line, because that's what D'Amico's all about, because that's what the 49ers are all about. The 49ers don't have a starter on defense who was drafted higher than the 3rd round other than the line. All their linebackers and all their DBs were 3rd round down to free agents.
Crazy. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz. He now writes for HoustonTexans.com. John, just overall NFL umbrella this offseason, a ton of safeties, veteran safeties, have been released or will be released. Teams have got more than $100 million worth in safeties. Are safeties going to be the new running back for the defensive side where there won't be big money for those guys?
I believe there will be, and linebackers as well, unless you play a 3-4 and those outside linebackers rush. The Texans need safeties. They finished the season with a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th safeties who were signed off the street during the season. Jalen Petrie was the only starter who stayed healthy. So that is an important position for them. And I'm writing a column Monday, the week free agency begins, about if you need a safety like the Texans do, this is great, because you're going to be able to get a pretty good one for not a lot of money. Now, if they lose linebacker Blake Cashman, then they'll have linebackers out there. But if I'm Cashman, I want to stay here like Schultz. If the offer is good enough and you're in a system with coaches and players that like you, sign a 2 or 3 year deal. But if you're a running back, a linebacker, or safeties, you're not going to make a lot of money. And every once in a while, there'll be a big-time safety who's a difference maker. But by and large, that money's going to corners.
You know, it's interesting, John, and I don't know if you were caught off guard by that, but, I mean, the Buffalo Bills, I don't know if they have a defense left after everybody they released yesterday. And all the safety, it really caught me by surprise. Why do you think all of a sudden, or has it been all of a sudden, that safeties are going the way of running backs?
No, it hasn't been all of a sudden. It's just like some big names got cut. The Bills had big-time cap problems, and they had to cut guys. Now, you can re-sign them. There's been 2 or 3 guys cut, and people are like, oh, my God, they cut him, and then he re-signed. So I'm not ruling out some of those guys for less money going back to their team, because there's not going to be a big market for them somewhere else. Now, Tre'Davious White, who's been hurt, I think, 2 of the last 3 years, and I think he played in 4 games last year. Well, if he can go and when he can go and show people he can still run and do every drill, he might kid like a 1-year deal for a low base salary and a lot of incentives if he can stay healthy, and then hope to capitalize the next year. We're going to see that too, especially the safety caught everybody off guard. Justin Simmons of Denver, who's been one of the top 4 based on the All-Pro team, I think, for the last 5 years. But they saved almost $17 million in cap dollars going back there because they put out a statement thanking him for his contributions. And once you do that, it shows you're not trying to bring him back. And if you're not trying to bring back a guy that everybody thinks is playing well, you know, the antenna better go up and try to find out why that is. And it's not on everybody, of course, but it's a pretty well battle-tested thing here. You don't give big money to 30-year-olds. Now, Chris Jones got it from the Chiefs because he's worth more to them than he was to anybody else, that he's 30. And you just better be careful if you're giving a contract to a guy who's 30, unless it's for maybe 2 years. And get those guys coming off their first contracts. And if they're cap casualties, you better dig deep to find out why the team didn't want to keep them, because you can keep any player you want if you really want to do it, which the Chiefs are showing with Chris Jones, who's getting almost $30 million a year.
You know, it's interesting as you say it that way, as we visit with John McClain here on the Blitz. You know, obviously we spend a lot of time talking about the upcoming deal that Dak Prescott's going to get. And people say, well, he should give a hometown discount. No, players need to go get as much money as they possibly can, because as we can see, and you're seeing this week, these contracts aren't really worth anything, right? I mean, teams will let you go quickly to save money. And so go get as much as you can, because there is no loyalty in this game. It's so, and like you said, if they really want you, they can figure out a way to keep you at that same amount of money. But you also become an easy cut if they want to get rid of you.
That's a great point, and it's just business. And I love the line that Pat McAfee had today, that contracts should be written on toilet paper because they're not worth bleep.
Yep.
And that's true. They can cut you anytime. Fans, I don't know so much today the way it used to be. They always took the side of management. But I think people are wise enough today to know these guys sign contracts in good faith. They play pretty well. Boom, they're cut. It has nothing to do with them. And there is no loyalty. It's just business. Players understand that. And if you're 30 or 31, or like Tyron Smith, who's 33 with a history of injuries, reality is you're not going to make anywhere near what you think you're worth.
Well, that's absolutely true, but that's why you're seeing all this guaranteed money now. You see these contracts. Well, it's a $200 million deal over 5 years, but $119 million is guaranteed. Do you think that there should be guaranteed contracts in the NFL, John, similar to, say, the NBA?
They never did it because of injuries, because you couldn't stay NBA, Major League Baseball. They're fully guaranteed. And I've always thought if you're playing for money, that's a powerful incentive. And you see so many players have their best season in the last year of their contract, where you always wonder, if a guy gets a guarantee, what are you going to get out of it? Is he going to get hurt more? Is he going to be slower to come back from an injury? I like it the way it is. I don't begrudge anybody who gets a guaranteed contract. A lot of them are getting so much money guaranteed, it might as well have the whole thing guaranteed. What Chris Jones got from the Chiefs is very fair and good for him. He's earned it. And that's the thing for fans to keep in mind.
You know,
Chris Jones was a second-round pick. There's a lot of these great players who weren't first-round picks, so everybody goes crazy because my team didn't draft this position in the first round. Just be patient.
You know, John, as we think about fully guaranteed contracts, and, I look at, guys like a Kawhi Leonard, or, all these guys in the NBA, load management, taking all these days off. I think what you just said, but, a different way. Can we figure out a system where they get guaranteed money that is good money, but the majority of their money is incentive laden with realistic incentives? What motivates you? I need to get that catch number. I need to not have so many holding penalties, things like that, where they're getting paid based on performance.
Well, that's great. Agents don't like it. Players don't like it. It's a last resort. If you see a guy like, say, Justin Simmons in his new deal, he'll probably get some incentives wherever he goes based on if he gets second team All-Pro like this year, first team All-Pro, or where the new team goes. You can put all kind of incentives in there. And that kind of saves them saves some face for players who have to take major cuts. But those guys, they make a lot of money. You know, Dalton Schultz, what he got, $25 million guaranteed. That's not chicken feed. It is when it comes to a quarterback. And now a guy like Chris Jones. But when you give fully guaranteed contracts like Kirk Cousins, who's won one playoff game, and Deshaun Watson, who's won one playoff game, are they getting their money's worth out of those quarterbacks who have guaranteed contracts?
I just want to switch gears for a minute, John, and I've got a bone to pick with you. Can you tell that Alperen Sengun to stop beating up on our young French player here in San Antonio?
Sengun in his second season has really come on. He's big, he's physical, he passes, he can run. People are so excited about him, and we know from watching Wemby, he's going to, the more they get players around him, he's going to be spectacular for a long time. I try to watch every game I can that he's in because I'm just mesmerized and captivated by some of the things he does on the court, considering his age and how thin he is. Think about a season, an off season where he lifts weights and he gets to eat like crazy, and it's just going to be so great watching him. But Sengun has been not a huge surprise, but a nice surprise. He flashed before, but right now his career's taking off, and I'll ask him if they can ease up a little. Maybe they'll rest him the next time they play the Spurs. I'll ask him.
Are you kidding? He's going to try for another career night. Yeah, he knocked Wemby out of tonight's game. No Wemby tonight. John, always appreciate it, man. Go read John McClain at HoustonTexans.com. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John, we'll talk to you next week.
Guys, thank you very much as always.
Appreciate it. John McClain on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
You know, thunderstorms in the forecast, and if they're not now, they're going to be. It's happening. We're in March, and those spring storms are going to pop up everywhere. And that means that you need to start thinking about your roof. Is your roof in good shape? Can it handle anything that Mother Nature has to throw at it? If you're unsure of that, you need to call my friends at Stevens Roofing, because that's the one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. Stevens Roofing. You know, quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It means confidence. It certainly means peace of mind. Protection for all of the things that you love. Look, when you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or just a checkup on your roof to make sure it's okay, you want to work with that experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of their craft to every job. Work with Stevens Roofing. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. You can also check them out online at stevensroofing.net, but check them out. Give them a call. Make sure you are okay. Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs do it? Do they stand atop the mountaintops? Did 121 happen? We're looking back at the Kings game.
Plus, legendary pitcher Roger Clemens joins us to talk all things baseball and who knows whatever else. And it's Oscars weekend. We're talking about it Morning Huddle style.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation. Supporting those who feed, build, and protect America, we offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225, 800-777-1225, or biglou.com.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. Just a couple of weeks away from our golf tournament coming up on March 25th at the Golf Club of Texas. Brought to you by Flight by Yingling and Sierra Auto Group. Going to have a big after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill there on 90. Get signed up for the golf tournament, sasportstar.com. And the cool thing is, we want you to play golf.
Yes.
And we're damn close to being sold out.
Yes.
But if you don't play golf, we still want you to come hang out with us at 90 Proof for the after party.
Yes. Okay, you got 3 yeses out of me. How about that? Is that positivity to end of Thursday afternoon?
It really is.
How about
Considering
that?
you were grumpy as hell at the beginning of the show, I'm glad you ended it with the smile.
See that? Yes and yes and yes.
Yes, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Not to bring the room down, but let's talk Spurs.
Okay.
Well, I say that because they got their ass kicked last time out. They're playing tonight against Sacramento, but there's no Wemby. Fair question. You know, it's a late game tonight, right? 9:30. What time is this thing?
9 o'clock.
9
yeah.
o'clock. What channel?
Bally's, I believe. I don't think it's on anywhere else.
Okay. So 9 o'clock on Bally's. No Wemby. Are you going to stay up late and watch this thing? Or have it on? If you fall asleep, you fall asleep.
Yeah, probably.
It is so bizarre that if Wemby's not playing, my interest level in staying up late and watching this game has.
So you're saying if it was a 7 o'clock tip, you'd watch, but the fact that it's 9 o'clock, you may only see the first half.
It's out west, and I expect them to get drilled.
Well,
Sacramento's favored by
10 and a half.
There's no Wemby is the reason to watch this team.
Of course.
Right? And not trying to sound disrespectful to Devin or any of these other guys, but I don't really want to watch bad basketball. I don't know what else is on tonight. I think there's there's I think all the networks, if anybody still watches those, are all going to be showing the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
they are. Yes.
I don't give a damn about that either. So, is it
that could be entertaining?
Well, it might be. I mean, you can create some drinking games, but in reality, is it a Netflix night? Is it, watch
The Whale.
I could watch The Whale. What's going to make you cry more? Watching the Spurs lose to Sacramento or watching the movie that made Joe cry last night?
I don't know. It's a good contest.
Yes.
Who knows?
The Whale was on what? Amazon, right?
Amazon, yeah.
But it is interesting when you think about the Spurs and the one major draw. is Wemby, and no Wemby tonight because he sprained his ankle. There are a variety as we get close to the end of the regular season, a variety of different websites with trade suggestions.
Yes.
And the one that's been linked to the Spurs the most for all the obvious reasons that we've talked about a lot is Trae Young from Atlanta. Now, I've been on, like we might have to lose Devin Vassell to get a Trae Young from Atlanta. Although there's one trade scenario out there, Bleacher Report, right, Pledge?
Yes.
Bleacher Report saying, dude, you guys can keep Devin and still get Trae, but it will cost you Keldon, Devontae Graham, Blake Wesley, 2024 first-round pick.
Top 6 protected.
A 2025 first-round pick that was Atlanta's.
Uh-huh.
And a 2026 first-round pick. So a first-round pick in each of the next 3 years, and basically Keldon Johnson. Would you do that deal?
I would do that deal.
For Trae Young?
Yes.
So
I would
3
do that
ones
deal.
in Keldon.
Yes.
But you wouldn't do that same deal if Devin Vassell was included.
I don't think so. And here's the reason why. You need scorers. And I think if you're looking at Keldon and you're looking at Devin, who's the better scorer?
Sure.
At this point in time, right? So, and I think, again, I have hope for Devin Vassell. I think that he can turn into something pretty special. And you look at that scenario right there, that moves Devin Vassell down to the 3rd option.
Yes.
And it, who knows what what else they do, maybe even further than that. So I think him coming in, not being the guy, I like that scenario. And then you have 3 to build around. You obviously Wemby, then you got Trae Young, and you got a Devin Vassell, and you've got a pretty good foundation there to fill in other places.
And I know there will be other moves that are made. What I've laughed about over the last couple of days on Spurs Twitter.
There's a lot to laugh at.
There really is. But various outlets talking about the timeline. And I know we played some of the audio over the last couple of days from Ramona Shelbourne and Woj and others. And then I saw like Golick, and I don't know, like Golick wasn't saying if you don't do anything in a year, Wemby's going to be gone. Because we know Wemby still has his entire rookie deal and an extension. And the way the NBA is set up, the home team can pay him so much more. I'm not worried about Wemby leaving. And he's not going to leave in 3 years or next year, according to,
No, he's not.
But I don't think that's what they were saying, although getting hammered on Spurs Twitter for it. But the timeline of when is this team going to be competitive? I don't know that we're 3 or 4 or 5 years away because, in reality, you look at his deal, the option, and then the extension, which would be at the most money possible. He's here for 7-8 years before I think he would even consider leaving.
Well, you're more optimistic than I am when it comes to that. I think he's got to see something. And I agree with a lot of these talking heads. You got to see some progress. I mean, if this team sucks for the next 4 years and he has an option to go somewhere to win, I'm not sure that he stays here, even though the money would be better.
Well, I mean, and the way it's set up, the hometown team is so incentivized financially to keep him. But I don't know that they're saying he's going to be gone that quickly. And I'm interpreting them as being smarter than maybe they are. But, but I do think the idea of we'll be a better basketball team in a year or two, not waiting 3 or 4. If this team is what it is 3 or 4 years from now, why would he stick around? But I think it's premature to have conversations about if they don't do something, he's going to be gone after next year. That's impossible, and it's not going to happen.
Who said that?
Well, nobody. But Twitter, Spurs Twitter has interpreted it. What Golick Jr. said, I think ridiculous. That way, which I think is a ridiculous interpretation.
Yes, because
clearly, I got to believe that's not what he meant. Right?
No.
I think he's talking about having a solid team around him in that amount of time. Not he's going to be gone because contractually, well, he can't be, and the Spurs aren't going to trade him.
No,
but I think
you talk about pitchforks and fires.
Oh well, I mean, but the other part of it, I look at, and Mike Finger and Jeff McDonald from the Express News have been really good about saying, dude, the one guy that's on board with the timeline is the 20-year-old.
Well, sure.
And I think he is, and he is going to, and is setting the timeline. But whatever the idea was over the summer and in training camp, whatever that timeline might have been, if Wemby does in fact control the timeline, has to have been sped up because he has played at a level greater than what we expected, and we had extremely high expectations.
Well, yeah, no question about it. And Wemby could timeline today, but that doesn't mean a year from now he's perfectly fine with the timeline. And I believe Finger and McDonald when they say that, but that could certainly change. I mean, don't fool yourself. If the trade that we just suggested for Trae Young came to pass and you fill in, I think you've got a team there that can certainly compete and be in at least the play-in conversation, if nothing else, if not better than that. So you're talking about adding a guy like a Trae Young, if he stays healthy and is what everybody has seen and thinks that he can be, plus get better than that. I think this team improves dramatically next year if you had a scenario like that. So if the Spurs want to go all in and have some kind of a big splash move, dude, I'm all for that scenario right there. I think it would be outstanding.
And I know that seems like a high price with the 3-1s and a player like Keldon.
Didn't the Spurs get the 3-1s?
Well, and they're giving one of those back to Atlanta. But that 25 draft, said to be one of those where you want as many picks as possible. But
who cares?
But again, a trade like that, I'm okay with that.
In that scenario, as spelled out, I'm good with it.
And quite honestly, I think I would do something like that if it included Devin. And part of that, Devin in the month of February seems to be more accepting of his role. Up until then, no. And so.
Why do you hate Devin Vassell?
And only the well. If you're not going to accept the role that tall guy is the best player on this team and needs to be the focal point, I got a problem.
You gotta have somebody here. If you make a trade like that, you gotta have somebody here. You can't give away everybody and expect to be a good team.
Well, but I expect to replace them with guys that could fill that role that know their role, and that's what I'm saying.
I think Devin does now.
Well, I mean, he's learning it.
Sure.
And and if you can keep seeing the progression, now granted, Devin's contract is about to kick in, and Atlanta might be looking more for expiring deals, which makes Keldon a little bit more attractive.
Look, I think Devin Vassell is the third option on this team. He can score, he can shoot, he's getting better at that, and that's what they need. This team needs to score points. Other people besides Victor Wembanyama, and they need to play better defense. Now, look, Trae Young is no defensive juggernaut, but at least he can distribute and do that, and then you fill in with some defensive guys. Jeremy Sohan is an enigma. I mean, this guy has got to improve and be the guy that I want him to be, a Bruce Bowen type player. He needs to understand that role more so than to be, and maybe he was confused, and I don't blame him for that, considering Pop wanted to make him a point guard, and he's clearly not that. To me, he is a Bruce Bowen style player, and I think if he accepts that role and the Spurs put him in a situation like that, I think they're going to be better off.
It's going to be interesting to see. You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We let you know what's happening this weekend. We call it What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com, where you can get your tickets, see their full lineup, the menu. Eric Schwartz out there tonight. Friday night, Cowboy Mouth. The Dan Gonzalez Band on Saturday night. On Sunday, Think Lizzie, a tribute to Thin Lizzy.
Interesting. Also tonight, you got Girls Night, the musical, out at the Charlene McCombs Empire Theater. Little boys basketball state championship games out at the Alamo Dome. And hey, if you want to go on the road and maybe get a road win, the Moody Center, Dan and Shay. That's that romantic kind of music that la-ti-da, boom, chicka, wow, wow.
So you don't want to drive home after that show? You got to get a room?
Probably want to get a room after that, yeah.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Speaking of boys basketball, tough day today for the Cole Cougars.
Oh, no.
Yeah, their worst offensive output of the season.
Wow.
They took one on the chin.
All right.
Yep. Moody Center on Friday night has Fallout Boy. Tom Segura's at the Frost Bank Center. Wade Bowen out at Floors Country Store. Think about old Wade Bowen. Last week, he was playing the Ryman Theater with Randy Rogers in Nashville. And this week out at Floors Country Store.
Life is good.
Roger Krager out at Hall.
That's another good one. Roger Krieger's at Green Hall on Saturday night, too, by the way. Stable Hall at the Pearl. Oh, he dead.
What?
Not sure what the hell that is. But, yeah, there you go. The Majestic Theater on Saturday night has Bluey's Big Play. More basketball at the Alamo Dome. And Troy Bond is at the LOL Comedy Club on Saturday night.
Sunday, John Baca and the Hot Tamales are out at Green Hall. The Bluey's Big Play is still at the Majestic.
Bluey.
I don't even know what that is.
Bluey.
Dale Hollow is at the Paper Tiger.
Spurs are back home on Monday night.
What?
Taking on the Warriors at the Frostbank Center. That'll be good. Good to have them back home. They start a big homestand. A lot of games at home coming up.
What's on tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online at samsburgerjoint.com.
Grilling with the Blitz, presented by Tri-County Meat Market.
We tell you every week, you're doing your grilling.
Yeah.
You're putting photos on Facebook and Instagram and elsewhere. Upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page, because we like to judge meat. More importantly, we like to give away $50 gift cards to Tri-County Meat Market.
Well, I love giving away other people's money. It's great.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Got some interesting submissions. Something that you keep saying that you are going to do, yet you have not yet done it.
I have done it.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
When? I thought you were saying you wanted to do that.
No, it's been a while. I even got the whole contraption.
A little beer can
slide
chicken.
that chicken down on top of there and go to town.
What?
Bound chicka wow wow. Bound chicka wow wow.
That's where the chick comes from. Uh-huh.
Oh.
You sick man.
I know it.
You really are sometimes. Israel submits this I find fascinating. He marinated his 2 chickens in Tecate beer for 24 hours.
Wow. Interesting.
Salt, pepper. Then he grilled them sitting on top of more Tecate beer.
That'd be pretty tender chicken, I would assume, if
mean,
you're doing that for 24
talk
hours.
about fall off the bone.
Yeah.
I just wonder how long he had to cook that. He doesn't say, to try to cook most of the moisture out of there to where it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, the chicken looks fantastic. And more importantly, on something like that, the skin looks good.
Yes.
Which is one of the challenges with chicken. But generally, because like when I've done beer can chicken, add in some of those mandarin oranges, maybe some limes, just to create the moisture in it. It's so juicy. It's fantastic.
Oh, and I did do it. It's
been marinate for 24 hours.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Mine was good. I'd like to do it again, though. It's been a while, probably 6 months or so since I've done that.
Slacker.
I know it. But it's delicious, and it's so much food. I mean, you're talking about a whole chicken and just the 2 of us, and
yeah,
a lot of food for the next day.
So you have dinner, and then the next day for lunch, you're having chicken salad sandwiches.
Absolutely.
And then some sort of chicken and rice for dinner the next night.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then, I mean, if you got somebody in the house that's doing some meal prep, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. If you want to see the beer can chicken or all the other submissions, check out the Grilling with the Blitz page there at sasportstar.com. What do we have coming up next here? What's the NBA game?
Luka versus playoff Jimmy.
All right. NBA basketball coming up next. Spurs do play later on tonight. No Wemby tonight, but you want to add excitement to watching these games tonight, make sure you go download the Underdog Fantasy app, get signed up with my promo code STAR, and start playing the Pick'em game. It's a lot of fun. And, the other night I had
Wemby and higher than the 25.5 predicted points. I did not win, but 3 of you were nice enough to share with me on instant message the copies of your winnings because you went lower on Wemby stats. And that's how you play the pick'em game. You pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It is a fantasy game, but you win real cash, and it is legal in Texas. So download the Underdog